Hey everybody, it is 6 o'clock. It is Friday night, and that means it is time for Dragons and Things. We are here to play some Pathfinder 2nd edition, and it's an exciting one because you're going to recognize some of the people that are here with me tonight from another one of our amazing shows. First of all, obviously, Diana Restrepo needs to know. She's here, carrying the network with her stardom. But we also have Ben Birch hanging out with us. We've got Jessica Hayes Nunez and Sam Forbes and Jamie Mills, all from Things in Space fame. Super excited to get to play with the Things in Space crew. It'll be a good time. Looking forward to it. Other than that, we are definitely we're gonna play Pathfinder. It's what we do. It's what we do every week, and it's what we're gonna do tonight. But it will be a little bit. I've created a whole new mini game for everybody to enjoy tonight, so I can't wait to reveal all of the exciting new mechanics that I came up with this week.
I'm so excited.
Before we get too deep into Pathfinder 2nd edition and our adventure for tonight, I just want to remind everybody that we do have some new things happening over the next couple of weeks. I want to remind everybody that this coming Monday we are going to bring back the one and only Crag, son of Horus, and all of the other players from our original Dragons and Things cast as Crag, son of Horus. Diana. It is going to be a 5 Crag adventure. There's going to be so much rage the whole night, and I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. But either way, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic time. So please join us at 6 p.m. this coming Monday for that very special one-off adventure. Of course, the Monday after that, we are bringing back Crits and Giggles, our Janie Run adventure. So if you have been missing Skeslin, and I know you have, you'll tune in starting July 20th as that adventure kicks into Book 2 of our Reign of Winter campaign. There's some other things going on, but I will definitely make those announcements later on. For now, I'd really rather get into some Pathfinder because I just need to play. I need to tune out for a little bit and just run a game and have a good time. Because we were all talking earlier how man, we're all in these cycles of anxiety and not knowing what's going on, and it's just nice to be able to come in, hang out with some friends, and play some games for a while because I think we all need it.
Yes.
This is This is where things aren't bad.
That's right. Things aren't bad here.
We're in the safe zone.
All right. Here we go. With so much happening in the city of Kavalosha in the past few months, it has been a while since a contract has taken you outside the city. Those who choose the adventuring profession are not known for being content to be in one place over long, and that's perhaps why competition was so fierce to sign up for the most recent job, promising to take you out into the wild world and away from the bustle of the capital city. A lot of you were lucky enough to be chosen, and you've been summoned to an HEI conference room, where you await with anticipation to hear what grand mission awaits you outside the city walls. Does some terrible beast stalk the farmlands to the south? Has an ancient temple been unearthed by cultists of a demon lord? Will you have to collect the 7 crystals of elemental power and use their power to renew the seal on an ethereal prison of Kur Shabadon, the banished dragon king? You've accomplished so much over the past few months that you're surely about to be assigned to true heroics, the kind of adventures that will make you legends. Oh, the songs they will sing upon your victory. The answers lie in a mission folder, just now being placed on the table in front of you. The scarred elf administrator opens it and scans the pages for just a moment before looking up at you. Okay, looks like the Tupper Mining Company has some donkeys fall ill and die, and it's causing a dip in productivity. So you're going to be delivering some fresh beasts from the local stables to the mine. On foot, you're looking at 2-3 days travel, depending on how well you can wrangle the herd. Our liability policy does not cover them as steeds, so please do not attempt to ride any of them. Are there any questions? What do you do?
We read
comments. All right. What's the chat saying? How they doing?
Well, we've got a lot of comments about the Crag crazy episode of just all sorts of Crags. And the real POTUS98 said, Diana Restrep Pro, the ever-strong rock upon which the entire network is constructed. I guess Jim does some things too. Rady's just the eye candy.
It's an accurate representation of the behind-the-scenes look at our operation here.
Penguin Witch Doctor says, "Yay, dwarves! 2 of them!"
That's right.
Double dwarves.
Double
dwarves.
Double the trouble.
Hey.
That is the comment that I also was going to read, Jamie.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's good. After that followed some hashtag dwarves for life. And yes,
Nice.
I relate and love dwarves.
Oh, can't
I
wait to
even-
meet Jess's and Sam's characters. That's so nice. Me too.
I didn't even know Jessica was going to be a dwarf.
I didn't know you were going to be a dwarf, Sam.
How dare you?
You got to change your Twitter name now.
At Sam is dwarf.
Sam is Althor. Mogthor.
Octor.
It looks like we've got some new follows. We've got DaT Donator, which is a very specific name. I feel like that account was made for a very specific purpose. Lark Arts, Robert Liff 100, Matt at his best. Sorry, I don't know why that was so hard. Raven 5173, Oprixer, and Lil Xavier 546. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
Nice. Nice. And Crossbones has donated $10 for 2 edges for Sam.
Oh, hey,
Ooh,
thanks.
very nice.
Awesome.
And that donator has given the Bitbox Battle Pass reroll, well, it's a hero point, to Jess. So
Me?
That's right. Jess has got a hero point already.
Wow, what a dream. I haven't done a thing.
Hasn't done a thing and is already more of a hero than Ben.
That's fair. That's fair. I deserve that.
Also, DaT Donator subbed and gifted a sub to Dragon Soulfire 99.
Excellent. Love to see those subs rise. And remember, we do have a long way to go to hit our sub goal for the month. So please, especially if you've got those free Amazon Prime subs, chuck them our way. We need them.
Make it happen.
Help us. Help us with your subs. They're free.
Oh, boy.
All right. So the administrator waits a moment to hear if you have any questions. And then he holds up a hand. He says, oh, wait, I've just remembered. You haven't worked with our newest licensees before. After the whole Green Lady things was resolved, there was an uptick in recruiting. We've been assigning new hires alongside more experienced adventurers like yourselves for training purposes. Would you two care to introduce yourselves? He looks at you, Althor, and you... Oh, sorry, I forgot your character's name because I just learned Gwenton.
Hey, the name's Althor. Nice to meet you all.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
We're doing a good job so far.
The accent. And I'm Gwenton. Pleasure. Pleasure to be here.
You might think you just met 2 dwarfs, but you haven't. You've met 1 dwarf and 1 dwarf. I don't even know who she is either.
Never met before in my entire life. It's a pleasure to meet you, Althor.
Where are you from, Gwenton? I'm from the mountains.
How are you now?
Born there and raised on the rock.
Interesting.
Is that all you got to say?
For now, we're going to be spending a lot of time together, it seems, so we'll be able to find out more information as we go.
Aye.
So,
But-
is this competition or are you guys on a date? Because it's so cute. And she like ruffles her leaves.
It's
I've
not.
no.
No, it's
I've
not.
No.
No, I know.
We've never met.
No, just because we're dwarfs doesn't mean we knew each other.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well, you two seem to talk in unison sometimes, so I thought you were so cute.
That's ridiculous.
I'll tell you what's not ridiculous, though, is the glory and the amazing nature of rock. Aye. If you didn't know, I'm quite a hero. Can save the day when I want to.
Already coming on so strong, are you? We've
Right.
only just met.
I am. Soon I'll be the leader, but then I won't want to be the leader. I roll more solo more often.
Right, you're such a hero, and you're going to help us with donkeys.
Animals need saving too, Lassie.
Ha!
Are you raising your hand, boy? Are you even a boy?
Well, hello. My name's Harry Plopper, and I'm the boy who died. Hi.
I hate you.
Well, if we're making introductions, I'm Peepa.
And she reaches out with her vines and leaves. Those are beautiful.
Quite wonderful indeed. You're my favorite so far. Harry Plopper, I want to bury you under a giant mountain so you can never be risen again.
Well, certainly it would be a good attempt. I've died 48 times, and so I think probably it wouldn't work.
A mountain would keep you down.
I'm very sorry, but there is a very powerful necromancer named Moldavort, and he keeps bringing me back for some reason.
So you're some sort of zombie undead what?
And he shambles over to Gwenton, and he's like,
Oh yes, well, I'm a wizard.
Huh.
There was this druid that came to me after one of my deaths and came, and they were also a hag, and this hag druid said, "You're a wizard, Harry."
I don't like you either.
It doesn't get much better than that. I'm afraid with him, in fact, I saw him die, be burned, and somehow he's still here.
Yeah. And this is Fan Ray. Fan Ray,
yes.
introduce yourself.
I am Fan Ray of House Mythel.
Pleasure.
A just introduction. Short and sweet.
All right, to business?
Business.
To
business. Speaking of business, it looks like we have quite a few donations rolling in. The Java Man 1964 gave an edge and a sink to everyone twice over. So everybody's got 2 edges and 2 sinks sitting on the table. Thanks a ton, Java Man 1964. That's awesome.
Thank
and then
you.
Sarah BC1 coming in and giving an edge for the table and a sink for me. So everybody's actually got 3 edges sitting on the board.
and the
Except
one
for
and
me,
only
I've got
JWomic94 has subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 28 months, currently on a 28-month streak. And Jay says, "Hi guys, long time no see. I've missed y'all."
Oh,
Hey, we missed you too, Jay.
Missed you too.
So great to see you.
So,
That's
the administrator who's been sort of standing there while you guys all introduce each other, and he keeps consistently rolling his eyes every single time Harry Plopper talks. He looks at the rest of you and says, "So, do you understand the nature of your assignments? Are you good? Do you have any questions before you set out?"
Can we read it first?
Can you what?
Read it?
Read what?
The assignment.
Oh, yes, of course. Sure. Yes. The folder has a map of the area with you can see that it has like the Tupper Mining Company camp marked up in the mountains. It's probably going to be a wonderful trip for Althor. You see that the Tupper Mining Company, again, that they seem to be reporting that a number of their the mules that they use to haul mithracite ore out of the mines in the Drake Ridge Mountains have recently fallen ill and died, and they require, in order to keep up ore productivity, they need new mules, and you have been commissioned to get the mules to the camp safely.
Is there anything on how or why the old mules died?
There does not appear. They almost seem to gloss over that point. It just mentions very briefly that there's been a reduction, a fatal reduction in the herd size, and they need fresh beasts of burden. It does not go into any details specifically.
And do we know anything about the Tupper Mining Company?
That will depend on a society check. Or anything related to, like, if you have like a lore that's related to business or mercantilism or anything like that, you can use that instead.
I have that.
Sure, go ahead. Whichever one's better for you.
That is a 22 total. It would either be mercantile lore or society. They're the same for me.
Sure. You know, the Tupper Mining Company, Harry Plopper has something to say.
Harry Plopper got a 25 on society.
Oh.
If that gives me any more, if that's like a critical success or something. Maybe I was buried there one time or something.
You know that the Tupper Mining Company actually operates several sites in the Drake Ridge Mountains where mithracite is mined. Most of it actually gets processed and shipped down to Vantum, which is a city far, far to the south. In this area, you guys are basically in northern Thaspir, and in northern Thaspir, they're the primary mining company that operates. They're not the only one, but they're the biggest one that operates in this area. It looks like, just looking at the map, that you're again the estimate of 2 to 3 days worth of travel, depending on how fast you're able to move, is probably pretty accurate. And you know that the operation is very likely to involve like they probably have like their own mining camp where the miners actually stay for a majority of the working season before they will go back to their villages and towns to spend their off time. So it's very likely that you're transporting these creatures to a place where most of these people like live and work here at this mining site.
Would you say you were mentioning that we have to climb up a whole bunch of rocky mountains to get to this place? Would you say level of difficulty, just out of curiosity?
Chances are, if you can deliver them to the camp itself, you don't actually have to do a lot of difficult climbing. The camp is probably at a lower elevation than the mines themselves, so it'll actually probably be relatively easy travel for you two, especially the two dwarves who are used to mountain travel. Probably would have no trouble with this at all. In fact, maybe that's why you were even chosen for this particular job, because it won't be very difficult for you.
Well, to be honest with you, I was looking forward to more of a challenge when it came to that specifically. But easy is also fine.
You're looking over at the girl made of leaves, and you wonder if a more difficult challenge would have been wise. She might be a little too fragile for such rough and rigorous training like you're used to.
She is very small, but I am not very small, and I could easily carry her on my back.
True.
Oh. I've been carried before. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Shall we go on?
we shall.
Okay.
Follow Althor. And I walk out the door.
Oh boy.
I think I hate you as much as I hate Harry Plopper.
Fair.
So
We'll
further
see.
scanning the documents in the folder, you realize that you actually aren't going to have to start out herding much of anything. You are actually to take the main road east out of the city until you get to a place some of you may be familiar with from some past contracts, called Mester's Ferry. At the ferry, the mules and yourselves will be transported across Lake Cavalas, and from that point, you will sort of drive them up into the mountains until you get to the Tupper Mining Company camp. So for the first leg of your journey is actually relatively easy, and it's really good that it's so easy, because as you move, you realize that one member of your party seems to move at about 1/3 less the speed than the rest of you are able to. Every once in a while, you look back and you see this little rotting boy just shambling along behind you. You frequently have to stop to let him catch up to you. But As you set out along the main eastern road, it's just a few miles until you come to the docks of the ferry that run across Lake Cavalos. Some of you, again, you might actually know Harvey Mesker himself from a previous contract. I believe Keepa was on the ship before, at the very least. But even if you have never met Mr. Mesker or Captain Mesker, you would have at least heard about the ill-fated voyage your compatriots took across the lake with a murderous doppelganger on board. You hope that your journey today will involve much less bloodshed. You climb aboard the steamboat, the Cloud Skip, and the Lizard Folk crew show you about, including letting you inspect your cargo. 10 gray mules stand idly in the hold, munching on strewn hay. The journey across the lake is a mere 3 hours. It is pleasant and uneventful. There are a few other passengers, some of them quite interested to hear tales from a band of adventurers. They seem to think that you must be off to slay some eldritch beast, and their confusion is quite evident once they realize that you're just taking the mules. You disembark on the far side of the lake, and the mules are unloaded from the belly of the ship. From there, it is up to you to get them to the mines themselves. Now here's where we get into my fun mule herding minigame. So for all of you following along at home, here's how it'll work. Moving the herd of mules is best done by dividing yourselves into 2 teams, and both those teams will work together to get the mules forward. Okay, every part of every leg of your journey is going to come in 2 phases that require 2 different checks. There's a scouting check made by one team that rides ahead of the mules, and then there's a movement check made by the team running behind the mules to drive them forward. The scouting team is responsible for finding the best paths and avoiding complications and danger. This team is going to be using survival or perception as they make checks at the start of each phase. The second team, the ones moving behind the herd, are making sure that the mules remain together and driving them forward. This team is going to be using nature or intimidation to keep the mules in line. If things go poorly in that second phase, you may have to react quickly to resolve any complications that arise. Anybody from any team can choose to go respond to those complications, and the skills needed are going to vary depending on the situation that you find yourselves in. However, at that point, it is totally up to you to figure out how you want to divide yourselves. You can do, 3 forward and 2 behind, or the opposite. Each team is going to roll a single check, regardless of the number of people on it, but you're going to add the skill bonus of each person on the team to the total. So, for example, if you're using survival to scout ahead, one person on the scouting team is going to roll that survival check, but everybody who's a part of that team is going to add their survival bonus to the result. Because of this, you're going to be dealing with DCs that are just a little bit higher than average, but by working together, they're going to be attainable. And between phases, you can decide to switch teams. So if you're riding on this, if you're scouting ahead and you decide that you don't want to do that anymore, after each leg of the journey, you can redivide yourselves however you want. So you've just stepped off the ferry. Looking at the map that Pipa has in the mission folder, you need to move north and east along the road to at least for the first leg of your first day. You expect very little trouble as you're still very close to the capital city, and this is a fairly tame and well-regulated area. I guess the first question I need to know is who is on what? How are you dividing yourselves up? Who's scouting ahead? Who is driving the mules? Let's figure this out.
Well, before we go ahead, so I think that's going to say, we have a raid from DaT Gamer.
Hey, we're getting raided.
Raid.
Thank you.
And
Okay,
I'm in
sorry.
for Life has donated $50 a mercy for the players.
Dang, mercy
Thank
for
you,
everybody.
Ooh.
Thank
And the
you.
That's a lot of bonuses on the board. Dang.
And the Wild Ferret has become the Bitbox Battle Box and has given the hero point to Sam.
Since Sam and Jess, you guys are the ones with the hero points, I want to note how those work because it's a little bit different from the way they work on things in space. Hero point is just a reroll. You can, if you roll and you're like, that doesn't look like it'll be very well, you can use your hero point to reroll. You also can spend all the hero points you have if you are dying you can spend all of your hero points to immediately stabilize and not gain the wounded condition, which is something that happens if you are dying. So you can also use it to save your own life if required.
We've also been resubbed by the Wild Ferret for 27 months.
Woo!
That's like 8 years.
you.
Wow.
Roughly.
Well then,
Someone
Birch
gifted
math.
a sub to Kirigari, so
Nice, guys.
yeah.
It's like 8 years.
I like it.
So first of all, right when you guys see, we get off of the ferry, and you just see that Harry is kind of lingering behind and looking at the lake, and he's just staring at it kind of intently.
I'm staring at Harry Plopper and murmuring a small prayer just to myself to stay sane around his presence.
I'll walk up to him and I punch him in the arm.
Oh,
What are you
sorry.
doing?
It's just that I've been found dead 12 times in that lake, and it was weird going across it and not being in it. So,
You slowed us down the whole way here, and now you're slowing us down again.
well, I've actually thought of something. I could stay behind the mules and scare them forward, going, ah! I think it might work.
Mules do seem particularly uneasy around you, Harry Plopper.
Finally contributing, I see. I was thinking about staying in the back of the mules as well. I'm good with animals.
I, for one, would not like to step in anything they might leave behind, so I will scout ahead.
I could go either way.
As could I. Suppose I'll be in the back. Be in the back. I'm good with animals as well.
Harry and the two dwarves.
Sorry?
Now, Peepa, you really could go either way with this. Obviously, I
Yeah.
had mentioned splitting up 3 and 2. However, you really don't have to do that. You could leave Fanray on her own as a scout if you feel like she's good enough to handle that on her own. You could just throw all of your weight into driving these guys and hoping that you can get them quickly and safely to your destination. That is an option for you. It's a little dangerous because obviously that leaves Fanray by herself, but she does seem pretty capable.
I would look at Fanray because I know I have a really good intimidation. So I'd go, Fanray, what do you think? Would you like some company? Or should I just go in the back and give them all company?
You know, Peepa, I've never felt safer than when I'm with you. I would like you by my side.
Okay. I appreciate that.
So having divided yourselves up, Peepa and Fanray, you guys ride ahead of the mules, making sure that the roads and the paths that you're trotting are the ones that are going to be the safest and quickest. And as you ride ahead, I would like you, either Peepa or Fanray, to go ahead and make, you can choose which skill you want to use, survival or perception.
I vote perception.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are making a perception check. One of you is going to roll the check, but the other person is also going to add that perception bonus to the result. So,
Danny, you want to roll?
Sure.
You do it.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Jim. Can I
Yeah?
send my falcon to help them scout ahead?
Falcon.
Falcon.
Has the
I would-
Falcon been with us the whole time?
Yes.
Was it a secret pouch falcon?
No, it's not a pouch falcon.
Falcon.
It was a coat falcon.
His name is Bovley.
I would say that because the Falcon really can't communicate with other people, I would imagine that you might have certain specific signals with it that you would be able to be like, oh, okay, well, it spotted danger or whatever. So if you were on the forward team, I would say you could use the Falcon to scout, but from the rear, because like it can't pass a message to Fanray or people.
Sounds great. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll keep him with me.
All right, so
Ouch.
I'm gonna use an edge.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a 6 plus my 8, and I'm gonna use one edge, so that's what's that? 15.
I'll give you an edge as well.
16.
Then my 7. So
Plus 7.
23.
23.
23. Sweet.
So you both start riding ahead on the road. And
Oh no.
now you start riding ahead, and you notice that there is quite a bit of traffic. You're still relatively close to civilized territory. There's a lot of carts moving back and forth, and you don't quite spot it in time before you actually get stuck sort of in a bit of a not really a traffic jam. There's not really a traffic jam so much. It's that like there's just a lot of traffic, and some of it seems stopped up ahead, and you realize it's because there's a major part of the road this near to the city that has been blocked off. And it looks like there's a crew perhaps replacing some of the cobblestones that make up the road this close to the city. And it's creating quite a bit of a challenge for people moving forward. And you realize that you're not actually going to be able to take this road at all. You're going to have to, there are parallel roads, but you're going to have to not only just or moving the herd around this, but then backtracking it and getting it onto one of these parallel roads. It's going to be a little bit of an issue. You just got to hope that your companions can drive the mules very well. Unfortunately, your result was a failure. And because of the failure, your companions on this next check to actually drive the herd is going to take a -1 penalty. So you guys weren't able to spot the road work ahead, and now you've got to turn the whole group of mules around, and they're getting distracted by all the activity in the area, and it's a little bit distracting for them. So they're going to be a little bit more ornery than usual. So now, as you guys sort of turn yourselves around so that you can go back to the last fork in the road and take one of the parallel roads, I'm going to need the driving team to choose either nature or intimidation and make that check as well.
Nature. I have 0 in intimidation.
Nature.
So nature.
Definitely nature.
I have all intimidation.
One of y'all can roll.
maybe we should be in the back next time.
We can switch at any time. That's one of the rules.
Yeah, after you get through this particular hurdle, you guys can redivide yourselves if you think this won't go as well for you.
I just always saw Harry at the back, so so nature.
I have PTSD about Ben being a cheater DM, so I don't trust him. So Jessica, do you want to roll for us?
You know what? I'd be happy to. 14.
14. And then Sam, you're adding your bonus to nature.
5.
So Fort sets 19 total. And then you said you've got a 5 as well, Harry Plopper?
Yes, I do.
Now -1 because you're in a really distracting situation and the mules are getting really antsy. And then because you guys are trying to coax them along and trying to be nice to the mules, and they seem especially uneasy around Harry Plopper, I'm going to apply an additional -2 penalty to a nature check because they just they are so antsy around him, and he causes them so much anxiety that they don't want to listen as well as they normally do. So that brings your total to a 21.
But Jess, did you add your nature score?
I sure did.
No. What did you roll?
Not a great number.
I
rolled an 8.
As you get the herd turned around and they start moving along, you note that 2 of them, especially over where Harry Plopper is, he's trying to come on, friends, let's go. I'm Harry Plopper.
Hello, my name's Harry Plopper. I'm the boy who died.
They can't understand you.
And they just bolt. They start running away, and you realize that you're going to have to stop and go get these mules because they're just running away from him. So at this point, anybody can choose to go after them if you want. They're running pretty hard, chasing them down with an athletics check. Anybody who would like to attempt that. And in terms of how many mules, let's see. Yep, 2 of them have bolted off from the pack. So you've got 2 of them that have split off, and you've got to go chase them down.
I have a -1. There's no way. I could scream at them.
I'd like to do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
everyone, hello, my name's Harry Plopper.
We
I'm the
know.
one who died. I'll go too. Yes.
No. You stay here. Let the dwarves go take care of it.
Can I
Quiet
use
your
my
mouth.
edges? Can I use my
Yes,
edges for this
absolutely.
as well? Okay, great.
Absolutely,
so
yeah. These
that's
are just
gonna
skill checks you could use.
be. Ooh, an ad. Okay.
I'll use 2 of my edges as well.
Oh, this is so bad.
25.
Ooh.
25.
Okay.
So you see that Gwenton just like head like gets into like racing stance and just goes like bolting after these and just like and almost like leaps onto one of these mules as it's running away and easily catches up to the first one.
Yeah.
How does Althor do?
I got a 14.
14. You try to match her sheer athleticism, maybe feeling a little threatened as the clear leader of the group as she just like barrels down on one of these things. So you overextend yourself just a little bit too much, and you can't quite catch this thing. And unfortunately, you are now fatigued.
Ooh.
Perfect.
You can continue trying. At this point, Gwenton, you've caught up to this mule and you've got it, and you can start leading it back to the herd to regroup with your companions. But you can see that the other one is still bolting away from Althor, and he's looking a little winded, and you're not sure he's gonna be able to catch up to it. So anybody is free to react to this however they choose.
Can I yell, Althor? Did you see that?
Your reactions to show off.
It was a good move. I overextended myself, which means I was going too fast.
Did you need me to catch the second one as well?
You could help out a little bit.
Maybe your falcon could help you on this round.
Ah, good idea. Scout ahead, Bovly. I'll try. I'll try again.
Okay, yeah. If you wanna try again, it's just another athletics check to see if you could catch it as it continues to just run away from you.
Oh.
Perfect. Oop. I got a 14 again.
14. Yeah, I mean it is like almost like you almost get your hand on its flank and then it bolts, and it clearly seems to like understand that it's just naturally faster than you, and it almost like lets you catch it and then bolts again. And it's just this really maddening game of almost getting it. And at this point, you're just like flat out exhausted. You realize that somebody else, like, you're going to have to ask for help.
I think the undead boy is scaring away. I would have gotten it if he wasn't around. I'll sit down.
Is anybody else? You guys could see that, like, he obviously Althor needs help. Who else wants to step up there? Obviously, at this point, Gwenton has led her mule back to the herd. It seems to be calm, and it is ready to move on. So, yes, Mr.
Henry?
Plopper.
Hello, everyone. My name's Harry Plopper. I'm the boy who died. So I could make sounds and try and corral it back into an area, and might help somebody to get their check done if I were to bring it closer to us.
Listening to you speak is more exhausting than chasing after this mule.
It seems that only that your energy alone is making them run off in anxiety. So, is there any way you can keep your energy inside? Maybe that will bring them closer.
Jim Jam, I cast Ghost Sound
Oh, that's gonna work.
on the far side of the mule to make it be
Okay,
like,
sure.
"Whoa!"
I
So
buy it. What is your spell DC?
my spell DC is 16.
16. Okay. So yeah, the mule like suddenly hears this horrifying sound on the other side, and it was running away from her, and it immediately like stops and like turns direction and begins running back towards. You realize that indeed somebody will still have to go after it, but it might be a little bit easier to corral it now that it doesn't want to run directly away from you.
Fanray will take a shot.
Sure.
Athletics.
Go catch it. Yeah, athletics.
That's a natural 20, 25.
Nice.
No problem. Perhaps it really was Harry Plopper's quick thinking that helped you corral this beast.
No.
Or perhaps it was just a fluke. Perhaps you're just that good. But you do manage to very quickly catch up to the second mule. You lead it back to the team. It looks like all the mules are now accounted for and safe, though you can see that Althor is having some trouble. Just so you know, Althor, you're going to be taking a -1 status penalty to armor class and saving throws.
Okay.
And you recover from being fatigued after a full night's rest. So for the rest of the day, it's a little too winded. It was obviously because of the dead boy's energy, but hopefully you'll be able to get it together. You managed to round the herd back to the nearest fork in the road and begin your journey anew. And as you start this, as you reroute yourselves, you can choose to redivide yourselves amongst the teams, or you could just carry on and start those scouting checks.
Let's put the boy up front.
Okay.
Are you staying in the back?
Hey. Is that all right? Do you have another suggestion?
No, I just wanted to know if you'd like to take your falcon out of its pouch, put him to good work. But if you'd like to stay in the back, you're more than welcome to.
Hey, it's a solid idea. I can come up front if you'd like.
I think we should switch. Let's try switching. Fanray, let's go to the back.
All right. You heard her.
All right, Peepa. I'll listen to you in your connection with nature.
Thanks.
So by my count, that puts you just flip in the teams directly. So you're going to have the 3 in the middle up front, and then Fanray and Peepa in the back. Sounds good.
Harry
So
and the
as
two
you
dwarves.
what was that?
Harry and the Two Dwarves. I'm thinking of a rock and roll song in my head that's like Harry and the Two Dwarves.
That
like
sounds like
rock
Ethel
and roll.
Merman.
Dwarves.
Harry and the Two Dwarfs.
So Harry and the Two Dwarves begin scouting out this reroute, seeing if they can do a little bit better of pathfinding after the relative disaster that was your previous attempt. Go ahead and you can again choose survival or perception for the team, and then everybody add their bonuses. Since you have your Falcon Scout, I will allow you to make a nature check, and if your nature check is successful, you'll get an additional +2 bonus to navigating, since you'll be able to pick out threats thanks to your Falcon friend.
Wow.
Ooh.
They are all the same for me, so...
I would prefer perception.
Right. Sam,
But
why don't
nature,
you roll this one?
But nature.
Nature's...
Is it just nature for me, or do we all have to choose nature?
Your check to try to use your Falcon is a separate check.
Got it.
So you could use perception, but then still try for that extra bonus with a nature check using your Falcon.
Cool.
Oh. It doesn't
So,
matter.
what did you say was best for you, Jessica?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Perception?
Both are
So-
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 14 on the die. My nature is 5. So 19.
Okay, so yeah, that's a success. So you're going to additional +2 bonus on your check
Okay, gotcha.
to scout.
So now, it's the
And
scout
then
roll.
who's making the actual check for the scouting?
I think Sam is. Because
Okay.
he doesn't
Right.
trust my dice roll, apparently.
Well, I
Doesn't
rolled
trust you.
No one
I
does that.
rolled great for the +2. I rolled a 6 on the actual roll.
All right, well, let's math it out.
So we're using perception. So I have a 5. So 11 so far.
11 +2 is 13 so far.
Plus 5, so 18.
Mhm.
18. Jess?
Mine was bad.
What's your
Roll-
perception?
What's your perception? You're just adding your perception bonus.
Right.
So,
11 total.
no, you're just
Your number.
what's your perception bonus? What do you add to
Oh,
perception?
+6. Just kidding.
+6. So you guys were at 18 +6 brings you up to 24.
There we go.
You realize
Do
that
you
it's a
have any-
really good thing that Althor has this Falcon friend, because it becomes quickly apparent that you are approaching a the Braywater River, which is the river that actually feeds Lake Cavalast that you rode the ferry across. And the Juniper Bridge that you were hoping to take is actually broken, and you're unable to take it. So you realize before you get too far along your journey, you realize you're going to have to find a better crossing. There are many other crossings, but it is actually because of that bonus that the Falcon gave you that you just eke by and manage to find a crossing that's going to be relatively safe for yourselves and for the mules. So now to drive them over the crossing and through the river that'll come, it's still, a couple feet deep, but it's not too dangerous here. The rocks here make it a fairly easy crossing. All you guys need to do in the back is make a nature or intimidation check to drive them across the water.
Intimidation, definitely.
All right. So you're basically just screaming at the mules, get across the water.
Fenrir, you
Get
roll.
over there.
You roll this time.
You want me to roll? Okay.
Yeah.
Whoo, buddy. All right. Okay. 17 on the die, plus 7 for my intimidation, 24.
Add 9 to that.
Woo. That's 33.
4 plus what?
9.
9. I put
33.
intimidating glare as one of my feats. So
Nice.
33
damn.
is a success.
Yeah.
Basically just standing behind the mules, screaming at them to get across the water and stop wasting your time. You managed to drive all of them successfully across the water. None of them break off. None of them slip on the rocks. They are now all safely on the other side of the river, allowing you guys to continue your journey as the first day comes to a close.
Yay.
Indeed, as that first day comes to a close, why don't we turn to the chat and take a quick break to see what they had to say about all of this.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
I got one from a while back. Jay Womack said, "Hi, Jamie. I just started watching Things in Space earlier today. No is great."
Yay!
She is pretty fantastic. Imp in my head is saying maybe people could make the whip crack and sounds with her vines, and then he says, "Oh yeah, mules, go!"
That's right. And they were properly intimidated. That's for sure.
It's Lucas Martinez said, the ghost sound says, "Hello, I'm Harry Plopper."
That's what I was going to read.
Even the
Burger
ghost
in
sound.
CA says, yeah, put the trainees up front.
It's good that we're always in the group of 3 because we need help.
Yep.
It looks like Scott Denuzzo is our most recent bit boss, and he has given me the hero point, as I am clearly the true hero of the show.
You did it, Jim Jam.
It's me.
I believe it's Lucas Martinez also did the Gimli quote when I was chasing down the mule. The dwarves are natural sprinters, wasted over long distances. Gimli is the best.
I love Gimli so much.
Nothing, just a wisp of cloud. It's my favorite quote.
Sam, your accent is so good.
So,
But you're missing the best Gimli quote.
What is it?
You feel.
You feel?
Oh, he fell.
Hey, Phil. Oh, so funny.
People are naming the rock band of Harry
no.
Plopper and the Disgruntled Dwarves.
Yeah.
Harry Plopper and the Dead Donkeys.
Not dead yet.
Yet.
Penguin Witch Doctor saying, "I bet Oopsie would not try to drive a mule." I think he would.
I think he would.
Yeah.
That's actually probably why he was not chosen for this particular job, is because he would not be able to stop driving them. Would just not go well.
Yeah.
All right, friends. So, what was that?
I was just reading what J. Womack wrote. It
Oh,
still
go ahead.
only counts as one.
It's true. So, you've all come to the end of your first day on the road. It's been exhausting, but you made it, and now it is time for some well-earned rest. You set up camp in an area where the mules will be able to graze as they please and have yourselves a hearty meal to recharge before you go to sleep and rest up for another day of travel in the morning. Suddenly, however, you begin to hear shouting. It's not angry, panicked shouting. These are the sounds of loud revelry. Soon after, there are flashes of multicolored light, cracks of arcane energy, and whoops of laughter. The mules are starting to get a little nervous. And you have a bad feeling that not only is this going to continue, but get more intense unless you do something. The sounds and lights and the raucous seems to be coming from maybe 100 yards to the west of where you're camped. And as it gets darker, it keeps going. Like somebody's having a huge party over there. And as the flashes and the bangs get louder and more intense, you can just see the mules are starting to stamp and snort, and like it's not going to go well if you don't get this under control. What do you do?
I think we need to go talk to him.
Or talk to the mules.
It's also an option. I could maybe provide a little bit of soothing sounds to try and drown out what's happening over there, and maybe we can send someone who's charismatic, perhaps, to go and calm down this party that's happening.
I can also make soothing sounds.
Would you like to do it together?
Sure. We can make our own band.
I love this.
Yes, Ben?
Harry.
Yes, hello. My name's Harry Plopper.
Where?
Would you like me to go talk to the folks over there?
If you were to...
Fan Ray. Sorry.
No. I agree. Fan Ray.
I don't want you to go, but I also don't want you to stay. Perhaps we should bury you until morning.
It's a ghost. Can you bury a ghost?
He's not a ghost. He's a zombie.
But you're like kind of a ghost.
Oh, no. He's just because I made ghost sounds.
You're the boy who died.
Yeah.
It actually would make a lot more sense if you were a ghost in terms of Harry Potter lore.
Fanray, do you think you could do the honors of maybe offering for this group over there to quiet down as they're causing a problem for us?
Sure, I will see what I can do.
I'll go with you. I'm very diplomatic.
Thank you, Althor.
Have message on the both of you, so you can tell us what's going on.
Perfect. Thank you, Lassie.
And I guess we'll head over there.
Okay. So you go tromping off through the woods. It's just the two of you?
Harry's gonna go behind and sneak behind and just kind of like watch.
God.
Okay. So you begin making your way towards the loud sounds, noises, and lights. And the three of you eventually come within sight of what is causing all of this commotion. There is another camp not too far away from where your own is. And there's a large bonfire here and maybe half a dozen young men throwing a bit of a party in the woods. Bottles of liquor pass from hand to hand. A table of food stands in disarray near the fire. And occasionally, one of the young men will fire off a spell at nearby rocks to the whooping applause of his compatriots. As you approach, things calm down somewhat, and one of the young men staggers towards you. He's wearing robes with a patch on the breast that says STU. Says, yeah, what's up? Who are you?
Do I know what that patch stands for?
Make a society check.
That is a total of 18.
19, yeah. Almost definitely. These are young men who are almost definitely students at Seven Towers University, far, far to the south in Bantam. At this time of year, it is very likely that they are on some kind of a hiatus or semester break, and they are out here letting off a bit of steam. There are a lot of especially rich families from Cavalocia that will send people down to Bantam for school. I mean, it's a very prestigious school and it's a very expensive school. So a lot of the noble families send their children off to Bantam every year to go to school.
Give me your name, boy, and perhaps I'll give you mine.
Yeah, okay. Name's Brego. What? What's your name?
Althor.
Cool, man. Cool.
We've got a set of mules that we've been escorting, and your loud ruckus is upsetting them.
Mules?
Aye, a donkey.
Yeah, like I know what a mule is, man. I'm just kind of wondering what that has to do with us. Maybe you could like
you did it.
move your camp away. We've been here like all day, and like this is kind of like our spot, so I don't really know.
What are you doing out here?
We're having a party, man. You can come and join us.
Is a party more important than the moving of the donkey?
Hell yeah, bro. This party's so important.
I see that you're casting some spells into the mountainside. Do you think you can break the rock? Because you can't.
Oh boy.
It's sturdy, solid. No amount of fire or magic will break it down.
I don't know which skill you're going for, but you can choose, and you can make an intimidation or a diplomacy or a deception maybe check.
Whatever I roll,
I'll let you pick.
it'll be at -1. That's my charisma.
Oh.
Are you saying that I'm more charismatic than Althor?
Yes. I'm rolling diplomacy, and I rolled a 4 on the die, so 3 is my total.
Wow.
Wow, I was all ready to sink, but I don't have to because you have critically failed by a lot. You're like standing there talking about how you can't break rocks with magic, and this guy's like, bro, you think I can't break a rock? You think I can't break a rock? And he starts like casting a spell in front of you. He's like, melt a rock. And he's like, you can see this bead of fire growing between his hands. And then he like stumbles and coughs at the last moment. And he's just so angry as this fireball launches. And maybe he meant to shoot it past all of you. But when he coughs, he like almost throws it down at the ground right between all of you. And there is a massive explosion. And I need Fanray, Althor, and Harry Plopper to make a very important,
I said I was
a very important reflex save.
I said I was hiding behind.
I don't care.
I'm going to use my
to-
edges.
Okay.
I'm going to use one of my edges, and that's going to be 22.
I'm gonna use all 3 of my edges.
Jamie, you're so badass. My total is 18.
18, okay.
13.
Okay. Well, I'm going to sink Harry Plopper
I was
to make
hiding
that a
behind.
failure.
I was hiding behind.
Oh my god, that's a lot of dice.
That is
Okay.
so many dice.
Here comes 49.
Nah, it's not that bad. 13, 15, 15 plus 19 is the total amount of damage. So
Man, that's pretty bad. I'll take my mercy.
Althor and Fanray, both of you succeeded on your reflex saves. You are going to take half damage, so you're only going to take 10 points of damage.
Wow.
Harry Plopper, who was trying to remain unseen behind, you notice just a little bit too late, and you're just standing there as the fire washes over all of you. As this happens, all of the guys in the camp begin to absolutely panic. You see the guy who actually like threw the fireball is like backing away from. He's like, oh no, oh shit, oh god. They all panic and just like begin running away from this camp. Just absolute anarchy as they scatter, as you guys all try to pick yourselves up, coughing and smoking and smoldering. They've scattered, but obviously some of you may be in a little bit of trouble. I don't know how Harry Plopper's doing.
Jim Jam, are any of them dead?
No, none of them are dead.
So I can't eat any of them. So that makes this a little harder.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's how I
Yeah.
feel, is I eat dead things.
Good.
Just
Carry on.
Carrie.
But they're gone now.
Oh yeah, they just book it. In fact, some of them don't even like physically run away. You see they hastily cast spells and just like disappear in flashes of light as everybody just scatters in a panic, leaving the camp completely abandoned.
Well,
Did the dude is the dude in front of us still there? Or did he also?
No, they've all left. They've all gone. Disappeared or ran off or turned into mist and floated away on the wind.
maybe not our smoothest use of a plan, but we would never have gotten all this cool stuff. Jim, what's in the camp?
Yeah.
Well, there are some bottles of wine, plenty of whiskey. There's enough food if you, so most of it's pretty scorched, but you scrape off the burnt bits and you got like half a roasted turkey and
with the turkey alive,
bread and
2 hours
cheese.
ago.
I'm sorry, it's been alive. It's been dead for a long time, unfortunately. I will say, Harry Plopper, that as you are like casting, you can make a perception check to see if anything might have died in the blast.
This is a good call. I will do that. That's going to be an 18 perception, and I have dark vision.
18. You do. So you actually find a small group of charred squirrels that have all like fallen out of a tree nearby and just begin like ravenously eating them. It'll count as one corpse worth of dead squirrel.
All right, fair. All right, hey, Pet, 4 points of healing comes back as you just see that Harry is just like fur and all stuffing these squirrels into his mouth.
Is there anything else cool in the camp?
Not really. Except for the food and the booze, they didn't seem to be carrying much in the way of treasure with them.
I would like to get an arms full of food and booze.
Sure.
Same. And yeah, I think once we've gathered all that, we'll take it all back to our camp.
Sure. So you gather up what you can, head back to your camp. Those of you who are back at the camp see the singed and smoking forms of your companions come stumbling in from the woods. You don't hear. There was one brilliant flash, and for a moment you thought for sure like maybe they'd started some kind of a forest fire. Like it looked really bad for a moment. But ever since then, it's been really, really quiet.
Did the mules get upset from the big flash?
They were, but because the two of you had stayed back to soothe them with your music and your calm words, they actually don't panic. So it was a good thing that you stayed back. Otherwise, they may well have just scattered into the night, making a whole disaster of trying to regroup them. But eventually, your companions come stumbling back out of the woods. For a moment, you think that like whatever disease Harry Plopper had must have like passed on to all the other two, because they're just like shambling in a daze back towards you. But then you realize they're just very badly burned and otherwise alive.
What on earth
happened?
I scared them away.
Do you also have dynamite inside your cloak?
No, it was a spell that went off and, well, they all went running.
You have spells?
I draw magic from the energy and the strength of the mountain.
The dog calls BS.
Wow, just because the dog made his sense motive roll doesn't mean everyone else did.
Well, at least they're gone. It seems you've got them quiet.
I guess so. Fanray, are you okay?
Just a little burnt, but we did bring back some food and drink, and apparently a different opinion of what happened. But I am fine. Yes.
Do you need anything to feel better. I think I have some elixir in my bag over here.
No. I think I'll be fine with some sleep. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to
Good
walk over to Fanray and just be like, I'll heal you, but let's go over there. And I just kind of point to like a little bit farther away from the group.
I'll follow Peepa.
Very
I know
popular.
what she looks like when she gets angry.
I'll sit down and start eating and drinking.
Okay.
You brought booze.
So as you three share the food and drink that you recovered from the other camp, Peepa and Fanray go off a little distance away. And what happens?
I just sit her down and I'm going to use a medicine check on her.
Sure.
To heal her, and then I would talk to her while we're doing this and be like, and just say like, I rolled a 15 plus my 8.
Okay. So that is a success. That's going to repair 2d8 points for Fanray.
Great. Let me grab a minute. So that'll be 5 points. I could do more if you want me to with the spell.
No. That's more than enough.
Okay. And then I say to her,
Sorry. Breaks open some of her leaves and like squeezes out some aloe onto her hands and then starts rubbing aloe over your burns. You feel quite a bit better after she's done.
And I'm like, Fanray, by your reaction, do we need to worry about Althor? Because you got hurt again.
Yes, I don't think we actually need to worry about him. More keep an eye on him. He is new and thinks he is very strong.
He is quite cocky.
One might say that, yes. He also has a weird obsession with rocks and mountains. And I mean, I've known a few dwarves, but this takes it to a new level.
And what about that zombie boy? Do we have to worry about him too?
We always have to worry about him.
Gosh, I just wish he would just die permanently and we wouldn't have to see him again. Sorry.
No, it's quite all right. I feel the same way. But we should keep our eye on this group because we do have some new recruits with us and, Harry. So I would like to get as much money as possible out of this job. So let's try to keep them in line.
Okay, sounds good. So you're feeling better, yes?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And then I would go with her back to the group.
Sure.
Althor!
Hey.
Well, have you know I've been known to drink 3 to 4 of these types of wine without even the slightest slur of speech. Your falcon is
Yes. That's Bubbly's tail. A good dwarf in fortitude.
On 3. Drink to the bottom.
Aye.
1, 2.
3.
Okay, as you each guzzle a bottle of wine, why don't both of you make a fortitude save? This will be, if you have any bonus against poisons from your dwarven heritage at all, you can apply that to this.
Great.
Yeah, Harry Plopper just starts to just drink it one down. As well.
He's a child! No!
It just starts like filtering out of a hole in his abdomen and splashing all over the ground in a gross mess.
Like a ghost.
15 is my total.
Oh,
okay.
Boy, I rolled a 1. It's going to be an 8.
Oh, boy.
I'm immune to
Whoopsie.
poison.
So, Althor, you get to the bottom of the bottle and like chuck it aside, feeling good about yourself. You know, you feel like you no problem. But you look over at Gwenton, who seemed to indicate that she could handle 3 or 4 without a problem, and she just immediately vomits red all over in front of her. And she is very clearly like, she just like falls back a little bit. Just like you could tell, like she should go to bed immediately.
We had a stressful day. This is not a fair representation of what I am capable of.
Looks like I've bested you. Perhaps you should lay down for the night. I'll grab you a pillow. I would like to go grab a rock.
Okay. There are lots of rocks around. You find you find one that you would be proud to sleep on.
Hey, this is a good pillow. Lift up your head, Lassie. I put it underneath your head.
I do fancy sleeping on a solid rock. Thank you.
Oh, goodness.
Take the alcohol away from the child.
Hey, dead boy. Yes, you.
Yes, my name's Harry Plopper.
And you are the boy who died.
Yes.
Hey, see if you can push me down. I made it to the end of the bottle, laddie. Go on, try and push me down.
For me to shove you over.
I want you to try to.
All right. I mean, honestly, the alcohol doesn't do anything to me. I just trying to be included in something. But
I'm stone sober.
I'll push you down.
Try it.
Strength check. Like, what are we?
Athletics.
Athletics. Okay. 13.
Okay. Althor, what is your bonus to athletics? What do you add to athletics?
5.
Okay, so your athletics DC is 15. Harry Plopper, he tries to push you, and he takes barely a step back, but you're not strong enough to get him down.
I haven't been pushed over in years.
That one's a 16.
So as he's bragging about
wait. As a rock dwarf, I get a +2 to, it says, to fortitude or reflex DC when being shoved or tripped. Does that apply here as well?
If this is against your fortitude DC, then what do you add to fortitude saves?
5.
5. You get an additional +2 bonus because you're being tripped. So your DC is 17. So he still can't shove you down.
I love it.
I didn't think so.
No, I'm gonna keep trying until I do it though. Okay, that one I'll do it. That's a dirty 20.
So Peepa and Fanray, you guys finally make your way back to the camp. You see that Gwenton is passed out near a pool of red vomit on a rock. You see that Harry Plopper keeps backing up and rushing at Althor, trying to knock him over, and Althor is just standing there, just can't push me over. And then all of a sudden, Harry Plopper just pulls into him, and Althor goes stumbling back, trips over Gwenton's prone body, and lands on the other side of her on his back.
Ow!
I was just laying down to go to sleep. And I'll pull up a rock and go to bed.
Well, Peepa, I think we're on first watch.
I agree. I hope we're not on watch all night because of those two idiots.
Oh, and yeah, I guess Fanray's going to take a lap around the donkeys.
Sure.
Because this is a little too much.
You guys, one by one, people are falling asleep. You guys, feeling that you're the only responsible ones in the crew, Fanray and Peepa, you make sure to do a lap around the camp and make sure everything looks okay. It does appear that the night is incredibly quiet. Perhaps all the commotion from earlier with the spells being flung about and the loud partying has scared away any would-be creatures that are in the area. It's almost impossible to wake Althor or Gwenton up. As you approach appropriate time for them to start a watch, so you decide, well, maybe it'll be safe enough, and you all eventually go to sleep. And the rest of the night does pass uneventfully and safely.
Good.
You wake the next morning without any trouble, though it does look like Gwenton is a little worse for wear. She does not look like she's doing very well at all. However, Althor, you're no longer fatigued because you've gotten a night's rest. Anybody who had taken damage is going to heal up. Natural healing is your level plus your constitution modifier. So for Althor, it'll be 1 plus whatever your Constitution modifier is, and then everybody else knows their level. I don't think Gwenton took any damage, so
Did not.
that's a scoot.
Just hungover.
Just hungover, just incredibly hungover. And it looks like it's time to begin the second day of travels, which is going to take you pretty far afield. Now you'll be getting into the wilds way outside the city. And as you break down camp within the first couple of hours of travel, you can start to actually see the mountains rising in the distance. Though you know that these behemoths are still quite a ways off and you have many, many miles to tread. So the question becomes, how are you dividing yourselves, and how can we get these checks going?
Same as yesterday. I thought that the second time went really, really well. So
it did seem to go pretty darn well. So how about the forward team then? If you're all settled, go ahead and make your check. Obviously, Sam, if you want to use the Falcon ahead again, you'll make a separate nature check to see if you get that +2 bonus.
And I will roll the perception check for us this time.
All right.
Separate nature check was a 15.
That is a success. That's going to give you a +2.
19
Nice.
on the die.
Nice.
Ooh.
So 21 plus my 5. 19 plus my 5 is 24.
And another 6.
And
So
then
30.
another 5 and another 2.
So 37.
So you note that Gwenton, who is really worse for wear, seems to be a little less helpful than she may otherwise have been. So Gwen, you're only going to be able to add half of your perception bonus
Aw,
this
man.
morning, because you spend most of the morning with your hood pulled way down over your eyes, trying not to look at the horrible bright sun, which insists on stabbing you in the skull. So that's going to be a total. So you had a +6 normally, so it'd actually be a +3.
34.
So we're looking at 34, which is still, thanks to your companions, pretty darn good.
Cool.
With a 34, we are looking at
good.
a success, which means that there are no penalties or bonuses as your companions begin driving the herd along. The road is very easy, and you pass pretty near an orchard of some kind. It looks defunct, but there are a number of trees that were very clearly at one time tended. You can see fallen fruit all over the place. You try to skirt around because you know that the fruit might be a little bit of a distraction to the donkeys. So you try to keep them as well as you can without straying too far off the road. You try to get them, try not to pass too close to this abandoned orchard. Let's see how your companions do getting the donkeys past safely.
Jim Jam.
Yes.
Would a 37 have been a critical success? Just for
I'm afraid that I can't tell you.
Okay.
Oh, no.
And are there any small little animals that I can, I need some breakfast.
Ugh.
Yeah, you're probably feeling pretty bad
I
about
took
what
a lot
happened the
of
day
damage.
before. If you want to forego your bonus
No.
being added to the scouting checks, you can try instead to look for the corpses of animals.
No, it's okay. I'm fine. If we come across, anything in the road, just let me know.
Okay. So how about Pipa and Fanray? You guys are you still just
Intimidate
shouting at the
again?
mules?
Well, I think instead of shouting this time, if they've pointed out the orchard, Fanray's going to take one of the empty bottles from the night before
Mhm.
and one of her daggers and walk in between the donkeys and the line of trees and bang on
Yeah.
the bottle loudly to make them veer away from it.
Sure. Pipa, anything special you want to be doing?
I would sing a song so she can make a rhythm to what she's saying to them.
Nice. So
Yeah,
you
I
sing
like her.
you sing a song all about the consequences for not listening to you as you drive the mules forward, hoping that your words will scare them into submission. Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
You doing it?
You want to do it since you're the one who's
Sure, I'll
banging
do
the
it.
bottle?
Ooh, 18 on the die, plus 7, 25,
Plus 9.
34.
34. That
Plus
is
some
a
bottle bonus?
Bottle bonus.
Inspired
Bottle
courage
bonus.
bonus.
No. You are successful, however. The donkeys, it does look like they're eyeing all this fallen fruit. And you can tell that they wanna go over there and just start crunching down. But because Fanray interposes herself between them and the field, making loud noises as Peepa sings to them, they move on without a hitch. You manage to pass through the first leg of your journey on the second day without a hitch, and now the path is beginning to rise into the hills themselves. The terrain is becoming rougher and rockier. The mules are very sure-footed, but loose rock and scree could still spell disaster. Finding the safest path is going to be very important for those on the scouting team. If you are all still sticking with the same teams, you can go ahead and make your next check.
Yup.
I think
Who wants to roll it?
Jessica.
I'll do it.
Good.
Ooh, that's gonna be a 17 plus
Nice.
perception.
Only half of
24.
yours.
Oh, well, still only half. Yes.
Yes.
Can I have eaten a potato and been better?
I have eaten a potato.
Just one.
All right, so
I'll tell
then
you
a
what.
dirty 20. Dirty 20.
I tell you what, for the second half of your journey, go ahead and make another fortitude save.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
12.
It's bad. You're still feeling really crappy. So we're at a 20 so far. What about the other bonuses we're adding here?
25.
25,
My nature check was only an 11.
11. So yeah, this time, you're not really sure. The bird it seems tired of scouting all the time. It doesn't really want to, and it gets distracted, swooping down and hunting a rabbit, and then eats the rabbit before Harry Plopper can get to it. And it's the whole thing. It's just a disaster. You get no useful information, so you're just straight up on your perception.
Which is
So we
fine.
got a dirty
So
30.
funny.
Dirty
30. A dirty 30.
And thriving.
I just noticed that I've got 2 sinks.
Oh.
So I'm going to drop that dirty 30 down to a
You have
28.
2 sinks. You got 2 edges.
You already
No,
released them.
I got sinks earlier. Look, sink 2. Look at the
Oh.
document.
You
It
used
says
them
2.
on me, though.
I had 3. I used 1. And now I have 2 more that I will apply to this roll.
How dare you?
Because I think it's funnier when you guys fail.
Oh.
Well, we could add our edges. Diana has 2
It's too
edges.
late. This check's over.
Well,
You begin making your way. And you are doing a pretty good job. But you do find that the path is a little tricky. It's you get further down the road and you realize that you may not have chosen the very, very best path, but that doesn't mean necessarily failure. You just have to trust in the sure-footedness of the herd behind you. So the movement check can begin now, but that's going to be at a -1 penalty.
Okay. Diana, you want to roll it this time?
Sure. It's an intimidation.
Intimidation, yeah. I'm going to use my edge.
Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
I'll use an edge as well. Here we
Okay.
go. Oh, good thing I use that edge. 8 plus 9. Math.
17.
Great.
Plus our 2 edges.
Plus 2 edges.
19.
Plus 7
Okay.
for me.
26 minus 1, 25.
25. You're going along just fine. Everything feels like the
Nope.
donkeys are going to be cool, even though the path is a little bit tricky, but it shouldn't be an issue. And then Peepa snaps her vines once, and she accidentally hits the mule with it, and it jumps forward a little bit. She didn't mean to hurt it, and it doesn't look like it actually got hurt. But either way, it slips on some loose scree and begins tumbling. And you can see it stops. It's not a terrible fall, though it's a little scraped up. but it does look like it's kicking on the ground. It quickly gets back up to its feet, and it's dancing around. You realize you're gonna have to get down there and help it out. There's no way it's gonna keep going on its own.
Sorry.
I'll jump down and I'll pull out like whatever carrot or bread or cheese we had found the night before and try to lure it up with some food in front of it.
Sure. So you leap down. You try to make calming noises. It doesn't look at first glance too badly hurt. You're kind of hoping it's okay. You can see a little bit of blood. Definitely got scraped up, but it does look like at least it didn't break any bones or anything. Make a nature check as you try to calm it down.
Mm-hmm. Nature, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's what you do.
That's an 11.
An 11. Althor, Harry Plupper, and Gwenton, you looking behind you as you hear this commotion behind you. You can see this cloud of plume of rising dust. One of the mules seems to have slipped off the path, and it looks like Fanry has jumped out. She's trying to like coax it into being calm, but it's still like kinking and stomping. And you can see it's wounded a little bit. She might need a little bit of assistance.
So you see that Harry Plupper goes, Drakeman root! And he casts Tanglefoot on the creature, hoping to slow it. Or if I can get a critical success, I just cause it to be immobilized. So I think that would
be sure.
What?
It's jumping around. It's all sorts of skittery right now. I want it to calm down. All right.
Mm-hmm.
As a 17.
Okay. That is a success. So Harry
it just
Plopper casts a spell.
Minus 10 foot circumstance penalty to its speed.
Sure. He flings this gob of magical gunk down at the panicked mule, hits it, and it starts to get all gummed up, which causes it to panic even harder. And even though it's like getting gummed up in the works, it's kicking and thrashing now and falls over, sliding even further down the cliffside, getting all tangled up. It can't even seem to right itself now. What do you guys do?
I'm going to float down and try and soothe it.
Okay, so then you guys see Peepa just like leaps into the air and begins to glide on her leaves, gently down towards this thrashing mule is. What are you doing down there?
I'm going to soothe it.
Okay. Are you casting the spell Soothe,
yes.
Or are you...
Yes,
okay.
I'm going to cast the spell Soothe.
Okay. So how much are you healing? Because it is quite a bit wounded.
Yes. Well, I also have it as a signature spell, so I can do 2d10 plus 4.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
So here we go. Okay. 17 plus. Do I add the 4 twice?
No, just once.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
21. I mean, the bleeding stops. It looks like in terms of the wounds the mule has sustained, it is certainly back to full health, but now it's just a matter of calming it down because it's still like gunked up and thrashing about wildly. Does not seem to be interested in...
Can I use my nature?
Yeah, use a nature check to see if you can calm it down.
Okay, I'm going to start singing and using nature. I'm going to use an edge. So that's 8 plus 6. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
The
14.
Only lasts for one round, too, so...
Okay. 14 does pass. It's will DC. So you approach this thing, you glide down like a leafy angel, heal its wounds, and then begin singing to it and approaching it very calmly. The gunk melts away. The mule gets back up on its feet. It seems real skittish at first, but then it doesn't move away from you. As you get right up next to it, pat it along its flank, seems to be calm. You can lead it safely back, healthy and hale, back to the remainder of the herd. I would like you, however, because you've had to go so far down, gliding down here was easy. Climbing back up might be a little bit more difficult. The sure-footed mule has no problem just making its way up, and I would like you to make an athletics check.
Okay. Nope. I rolled a 6 minus 1. 5. I need help.
Yeah, you watch as she tries to like get back up, and it's clear she's having trouble. She says, "I need help," and then falls forward and just slides, scraping her leaves along the rocks as she slides further down.
The Drake Man rude at her. I throw the Drake Man.
That is not helping anyone, Ben. Peepa, you're going to take 4 points of slashing damage. And you're back down at the bottom of this little gorge. Although the mule itself has made it back up to the rest of the herd. You're just having a little trouble getting up there yourself.
I was down near her. Can I pick her up and try to carry her to the top?
Yeah, sure.
Peepa, would you like some help?
Yes, please. And I reach out my vines to her. Yes.
I'll just pick her up and carry her.
All right, try to climb your way back up.
Did you say athletics or acrobatics?
Yep. Athletics.
Okay. That's a 23.
Oh, even with the way Peepa doesn't weigh very much, so it's no problem. You know, she just rides your shoulders on up. You both rejoin the herd. You get to the back of them, begin driving the mules forward once again. It looks like that you guys have averted any major disasters, though Peepa's a little scraped up, unfortunately. Otherwise, doing okay. You make your way further up into the hills, and as the sun is setting on the second day of your journey, it looks like another day is down, and you're guessing, Althor, you being an avid mountaineer, you're guessing, looking at the map and where you are and the progress that you've made, that you'll easily make it to the camp by noon the next day. However, you will have to camp in the wilderness for one more night. There are thankfully, no nearby sounds of partying wizards. So what do you do?
Hey, we'll need to just rest here and we'll be there tomorrow at noon. Listen, Harry Plopper, don't help. When you get an idea, it doesn't work. If I call on you, like the schoolboy you are, I don't want to hear your name, understand? Let me know you understand.
Is this Sam trying to get back at Ben and Starfinder? Or
That's an excellent point.
Cold, dead eyes. What is it, Harry Plopper, the boy who died?
Yes, well, my name's Harry Plopper, and I will say that the ghost sound did help, and I don't know that the Tanglefoot was a bad idea. It just didn't work quite as well as I thought it would.
The thing that helped was Fanray leaping like a majestic one, tackling it down. And then Peepa saved the day this time, didn't she?
Oh,
All right, let's move on. We should probably get some watches going.
Yes.
So, if you guys are going to set up watches, let me know what the order will be as you set up camp for the evening.
Requiring a full night of rest, I'll take Harry will take either the first or the last.
Fanray will go in the second.
Considering I've been basically resting this whole time, I'll go ahead and do first as well.
Okay.
as a bard, Jim, is there a specific watch that I shouldn't do? Yes.
I mean, honestly, it just means that you guys might end up leaving a little bit later in the morning. It's really not that big of a deal. If you guys get a good night's sleep, you might have to stay like an extra 2 hours instead of leaving at the first crack of dawn. But by all estimates, that'll still put you on track to arrive at noon the next day. It won't be a big deal.
Okay.
I will bear the burden and keep watch with Harry Plopper.
Who should I go on watch with?
Why don't you take watch with Quentin?
Okay.
So it would be you two first, then me, and then Althor and Harry.
Perfect.
So the rest of you sort of set up a camp. You eat, you rest. Gwenton and Peepa, you decide that you guys are going to sit up first and make sure that you keeping watch over the mules, keeping watch over your companions. And in the first couple of hours of the night, as the sun sets below the mountains and things get very, very dark, are you guys setting a fire? I wasn't just curious. Are you guys making a fire? Or are you keeping keeping it
fire.
dark? All right, so you got a fire up to keep warm, and so that those of you who don't have dark vision will be able to see. A couple of hours pass, and I would like each of you to make a perception check.
Ooh.
14.
18.
22.
13.
Peepa, what did you say yours was?
18.
18. Peepa, you are sitting there thinking about what happened today, and despite everything, I mean, at least you got to glide, which is always fun. Like that's a unique and fun experience.
Yeah.
And you start to hear a sound. It sounds a lot like Harry Plopper. You think that maybe he's like mumbling in his sleep or something, or I don't know. You look over though, and he's just lying there. But then you hear this sound again, like this. Just low grumblings. It's just like you keep thinking like it's the sound Harry Plopper keeps making all the time when he's moving along. What do you do?
Is it just Gwenton and I awake?
Yeah, you guys are the only ones awake at this point. Okay. It's been only maybe 2 hours, so you're about to get to the point where you're thinking about waking up somebody else so you can go to sleep when you hear this noise. At first you think it's got to be Harry Plopper, but then you're looking around and like I don't know, maybe.
Do you hear that? I thought that Harry Plopper was just making weird noises because, he's a weird body, but look, he's not even doing it.
You're right. I thought it was him at first as well.
Do you see anything?
Can I use my dark vision to try and see?
Yeah, sure. Make another perception check. You stand up, start looking about the camp. Another perception check.
Ooh, 16.
16. You are looking out into the wilderness, and it's a little bit tricky because you're near the fire with the light. It's pretty easy to see in the dark, but when you have that sort of that space between the dark and the light, things get a little bit tricky. But you're pretty sure as you're looking, coming down the path from higher up the mountain, you see looks like maybe 3 or 4 figures making their way towards the camp. And at first, you think that there's just some people maybe coming down even from the camp itself. You don't know why they would be out so late. Maybe something's gone wrong. But they're moving really slowly and purposefully. And again, you can't help but think of Harry Plopper. And then all of a sudden, all 4 figures break into a run and come screaming down towards the camp. And you realize that you are under attack. And it is time to go on our mid-show break. Yep. We're going to take a couple of minutes and do whatever we do on break. And we'll see you guys in just a few.
who's doing the crew?
It is a possibility, yes.
If that's the case, you gotta tell me right now who's your favorite Skittlemandel, me or him?
Well, I'm unsure of if I could make a choice.
That's too close to a no, slug boy. I'm gonna go get the salt.
Become inspired by Sirenscape Online Player's massive sound library and weave your tabletop legends by building custom sound sets that bring your immersive world to life. Simply download the app to access the entire Sirenscape archive anytime you need epic sounds. The online player works perfectly alongside any virtual tabletop to bring your players together no matter where they are in the world. Broadcast your custom sound sets in real time with flawless audio quality to give them a game they'll never forget. Get the Sirenscape Online Player today at Sirenscape.com.
Great and mighty Dark One, hear my summons. Bring plague and misery unto this wretched world, and be born again in the blood of this unworthy servant.
What are you guys doing in here?
Huh? Nothing.
I thought you said no one was at home.
Nobody's supposed to be home. When do you get out of here?
No. Why are you wearing dresses?
This is not
There's a pentagon on the wall.
That's a pentagram.
That's a pentagon.
It's a pentagram.
Gone.
Pentagram.
Gone. It's a pentagon that has to have a start to be a pentagram. Are you guys forming a cult?
We are summoning a god of pain and destruction to rain misery on my stupid stepdad for being a total boner.
Sick.
And Kyle Bates, because he ruined the next season of Game of Thrones for me when I specifically told him I hadn't read the books.
Douche.
So you're gonna be a human sacrifice?
Yes.
No.
What?
Whatever. I'm in.
You can't
No.
just be in. Like, there's a whole process.
Let me in your cult. I'm gonna tell Leonard about the time I caught you trying on my bras in my room.
What? No.
Wait, that's not how you do that, is it? Let me in your cult, or I'll tell Mom that you used her candles for a satanic ritual.
No. Go back to the part about him trying to
That didn't happen.
In season 4 of Game of Thrones, Tyrion and
You can be in the cult.
What?
Thank
No,
you.
she cannot be in the cult.
Definitely in the cult now. Thank you.
Gonna put up with this?
I do have a knife in my hand.
She does have a knife. It's a good point.
Okay, God. Everyone gather. You're gonna cut your hand and give an incantation to the dark void.
Oh, dark monster thing. Bring sadness. You know what? This is dumb. Can we get to the part with the human sacrifice?
There's no human sacrifice.
Dude.
What? How? You have to have like a fatted calf
Yes.
or a unicorn.
Why are you agreeing with her?
Or a virgin.
Absolutely.
We could use Leonard.
No, you can't use me. Guys, I'm totally not a virgin, all right?
You're not a virgin.
I've done the sex.
Describe it in detail.
There's two of
Step
us.
one.
Step one, man loves a woman. And then
I'll take that. And plus, this one was trying to browse in my room. Pretty sure still a virgin.
We could kill Alan.
And we can kill Alan.
Kill Alan! We're not killing anybody. Cut your hand, put blood in the bowl. No more fun.
Wait. Did one of you already use this?
No.
Because I would bet money that one of you is a leper.
This is why I didn't want her to be in the cult.
I didn't want her in the cult.
I don't want you in the cult.
It's not your cult.
It is now.
You know what? Fine. I don't want to do this anymore. There is no cult.
You can't.
No cult.
Leonard? You're a nightmare.
I'm a hero. I just saved the entire world from your evil cult.
What? Okay, good.
My dad needs his bowl. No cult.
Be done. Leonard!
Excuse me.
You're a nightmare.
I'm a nightmare? I just saved the world from your evil cult. Get out of here. Get out of here.
My dad needs his bowl and his letter opener. I'm gonna get that back.
I'll get it to you. I'll see you later. Tuesday. You got white
Your
stuff.
friend sucks.
Are you okay?
I'm so sorry about the
Are you
wax.
all right?
Fine.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second half of our heroic endeavor for this evening. It's been a fun first half, but now it's time to end it all with a horrible zombie attack. I guess before we get into that, we should turn to the chat, see what they have to say about all this. How are they doing? How are you guys doing out there, chat?
Yeah. There was a comment I found and I loved, and I gotta go find it.
This is going back to the first kind of obstruction that we ran into, but Penguin Witch Doctor says, wait, the road is being worked on and the bridge is out? And then Brewhide says, but it's on the expletive map! It's finished on the map!
Well, you know, they have a bad infrastructure program in Kavalosha. They have to get on that. They need more funding.
Oh my god, this is great. If in my head, Steven wanted me to float like one of those helicopter pods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Oh, I found it. It's Lucas Martinez. A dwarven potato is hearty and hard as a stone. It makes me
It's just a
so
rock.
happy.
They just pick up a rock and eat
Just
it and
a
call it a
rock.
potato.
Reminds me of my days in Ireland. So good.
Torkernka says, does Harry need sleep? Which is a great question.
Oh.
Huh.
The answer is yes, as Harry is sleeping. And what
Yes.
is true in this lore is now true.
Yeah, absolutely. Or he could
Yeah.
just like to take naps. Who knows?
Who knows?
He just
Harry
likes
doesn't
to
know,
pretend
evidently.
to sleep. He just lies there with his eyes closed for
Right.
8 hours.
Try to be as living as possible.
Just imitating real life.
Yeah.
Even though you are prideful about the fact that you're dead.
Yeah. Jay Womack was talking about the party, and he goes, send Harry, he'll kill the whole party vibe. Everyone goes home. Which was actually what I was thinking.
That's it. And then, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say this last comment got me. Jukebox Raccoon said, side note, who made that crag drop? It takes a special mind to create that nightmare.
I missed it.
It's, I think it was the picture in the mid-show
Yeah, I missed
of
it.
everybody as Crag.
Oh, boy.
Oh my god.
It's special. It is very special.
It
is special.
Jim.
You know what? Let's turn our attention to something less horrifying. Literal undead feasters of flesh.
So scary.
Are descending upon you now. I'm going to have everybody roll initiative, though it should be noted that Harry Plopper, Althor, and Fanray are still asleepy.
Uh-oh.
Can I wake him up first?
Nope, not
Oh,
first.
All right.
Even if we're
Thought I'd
asleep, we're rolling with perception, correct?
Yes, you'll still roll with perception.
Thank you.
19 is my total.
19 is my total.
Nice.
Well, I'll have Gwenton go first, and she's actually awake right now. Then Althor.
I had a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 for Fanray. Peepa?
25.
Well, Peepa's initiatives are always just flabbergastingly huge.
Right?
Harry Plopper?
A wizardly 14.
What?
Wizardly 14.
That's good.
What is a wizardly 14?
That's what all of the initiative checks are for Harry Potter. They are wizardly.
I see.
Wizardly checks. So if you're, since you're using perception as your initiatives, those of you who actually beat these creatures' initiatives would have noticed the sounds of their of their approach. So those of you, basically all of you, rolled above their initiative. So all of you will notice and start your turn awake. Though if you were sleeping, you're obviously prone on the ground. However, before anybody does anything, it is Peepa up first because she is scary good at initiatives.
Oh my goodness. Well, I would try and wake everyone up.
Okay.
Wake up! Get up!
You see stirring around you.
And then, what am I gonna do? Do they look like they're going to Yeah, they're running towards us. What am I talking about? What can I throw?
You basically, do you have dark vision?
No, I have low light.
Okay, so it's actually difficult for you to see. Like, just at the edge of the firelight, you see it looks like humanoid figures, and they're rushing the camp, but you can't really make out much detail at all.
Okay. Is there anything I can throw around me?
Oh yeah, there's lots of rocks and stuff if you're looking for...
Right,
for
rock
kind of
shower. I telekinetically pick up some rocks and chuck it towards where I can see figures running towards us.
Okay, so since you have low light vision and it is full dark right now, they are hidden to you, so you do need to make a flat check to see if you can target them. So before you do anything, make a flat check. Just tell me what you get on the die.
16.
Okay, you managed to pinpoint them just enough to target them. So go ahead and are you just using your telekinetic projectile? Or is it, okay.
Yes.
Make your spell attack roll.
Okay, let's see. 14 plus 9?
That is 23, which is going to knock one of these creatures right in the skull. Go ahead and roll a critical hit.
Nice.
Oh, man. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 points of damage. Do I double that?
You roll the damage die twice.
Oh, okay. So 10 and 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points of damage.
Wow.
Jeez, yeah. I mean, this rock just right, and it actually like crushes into the eye socket of this oncoming humanoid creature, and the rock just like stays there, and its head is all like lulled to the side now, weighed down by this rock. It is still coming, but that was a good hit.
Okay.
And that was 2 actions.
Okay, I sing.
Okay, you begin singing, giving everybody a +1 bonus to attack, damage, and saving throws. Next up is Fanray. You were peacefully asleep. Something is coming. You know that it's bad. You are jolted out of your sleep. The hairs in the back of your neck standing on end. What do you do?
Would it be a move action for me to see these creatures at the edge of the firelight?
It would be a seek action.
Okay.
So yeah, 1 action to try to pinpoint where they are.
Do I need to roll perception, or is I just find them to seek them?
I mean, I would think that because you were just sleeping, a seek action would be in order. So go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okie dokie. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah. So you hear the sounds of oncoming enemies. You look, you see these rushing people. You see this rock go sailing through the air and just like dig into one of their skulls. But they are still rushing at the camp, and you can tell that this is not good. What do you do?
I'm going to draw a dagger.
Okay.
And even just sitting on the ground, I'm going to try to throw one of my daggers at the nearest of them.
Okay. So you are currently prone. And you're going to need to make a flat check because I don't think you have dark vision either, right?
Low light, yeah.
Yeah, low light. So you'll need to make a flat check just to target them because they're still at the edge. You can see where they are, but they're just hazy figures at this point. So flat check to target one, and then they're about 30 feet away. So I don't know what the range on your thrown weapon is.
Oh, I think it's only 10 feet.
Okay, so that's going to be some penalties for range increments. So there are 2 range increments out if it's 10 feet. So that's going to be a total of -4.
Okay.
After when you do throw, it'll be a -4. I'll say another -2 for being prone while you're throwing because that's it's awkward to throw while you're laying down. So
I did say I sat up to look.
Well, that would have been an action, which would have been seek, sit up, draw a dagger, no throw.
Fine, I'm lying down.
Okay. All right.
What is this flat check?
Flat check first.
That is a 10.
10. 10, I mean, you zero in on this thing, and luckily you have low light vision, so you're able to see them a little bit better than if you had nothing. So that is going to be pass. You're going to go ahead and get to make your check. So go ahead and throw it a -6.
-6. Alrighty. Oh boy. That is a total of 14.
14. You people and your ridiculousness, you somehow manage to just groggy-eyed, like wiping sleep from your eyes. Don't even sit up. You just like flick a dagger out into the
nice
and somehow hit this creature. Go ahead and roll damage.
Jim, technically that was a surprise attack because they haven't acted, so I get to use my sneak attack.
Is that so?
Yeah, because they're flat-footed to me right now.
No, they actually don't have that particular mechanic. If you were hidden to them by some mechanic, then we would say that they would be flat-footed too. But unless the text of your ability specifically says that they're flat-footed if they haven't acted.
Surprise attack says if they haven't acted, they're flat-footed to me.
So yes, then it does count. Normally, you don't. Not acting doesn't automatically make you flat-footed like in 1E, but because your character is just total BS, you get to add it.
And now hold on, I'm not the one that killed your favorite NPC.
Oh, Nathan.
You're rolling your extra damage.
All right, that is going to be 6 points of damage total.
6
Add my one.
points.
7.
Yeah, did you add the +1 for? Okay,
nice.
So this creature's got like a rock like weighing down its head, and then this dagger just comes flipping end over end and thunk right into its chest, and it's still coming, but it does look like it is stumbling quite a bit. Certainly doesn't have much to give as we move on to Gwenton's turn.
But speaking of Fan Ray, let me just point out that Burrow 224 has become the Bitbox Battle Boss and has given Fan Ray the hero.
Ooh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Fan Ray's great.
Thanks.
How close are they? Did you say?
They're still about 30 feet out when everybody seems to be alerted to their presence and starts reacting around you. You were on watch, so you're up on your feet.
Right.
Unfortunately, why don't you go ahead and make another fortitude save? Let's see if the third part of your day is as bad as the first two parts of your day were.
Listen, by now I'm ready to drink again.
Quentin's trying though.
That's gonna be a math 22.
Okay, yeah, you're fine by now. You've shaken off the worst of your mistakes from the previous day, so you're fine.
Shaken off your mistakes. So how much movement am I allowed to use on a single turn?
A single move action. You should have a speed listed somewhere on your character sheet, and that speed will tell you how many feet you can take with one action.
Great. So if I were to run forward and then throw darts, am I allowed to do that all in this situation?
Theoretically,
right now?
So if you run up, how many feet can you move?
20.
20? Okay. Mm-hmm. So you could get to within 10 feet of them with one action. Then you pull a dart out of your pocket as an action. Then you throw it as your third action, and then you're good.
Okay. Woo! Then I'm going to do that.
Okay. So you run up, draw a dart, and flick it at this creature. There's one that looks like it's been peppered with rocks and daggers already, than the others that haven't been harmed. Who's your target?
I'm going to go the ones that have not been harmed yet.
Okay, cool. And you have dark vision as a dwarf, yes?
Yes.
Okay, then you don't have to worry about any concealment because you can see just fine.
How nice. Okay.
How nice.
So, that's going to be 19 on the die plus the ranged dart. So that's going to be 24.
Plus 1.
Plus 1.
25.
25 is a critical hit.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
So you roll damage twice and tell me what you get.
Wow, look at all this math. That's going to be 8 on the die. Times 2 plus 6. So 8 times 2 is 16 plus 6 is 24.
Plus 1.
25.
Your dart does how much damage?
Well, it says crit 1d4 times 2 plus 6.
Yeah. So you roll the d. But what that means is that you roll. So normally you roll 1d4 for a dart.
Right.
But when you crit, you just roll the damage twice. So you roll 2d4.
Got it. 8. Plus 1, 9.
Gotcha. That makes a lot more sense for a dart. That's the mightiest dart I've ever seen. That's like a ballista shot.
Did you multiply both and roll 2d8? Is that
Yeah,
what
he said roll twice, so I did the math for twice. I'm sorry. I'm learning a lot of things very quickly.
It's all good. Hey, don't worry about it. Now you know. Now you know how critical hits work.
It's because I'm hungover.
That was all 3 of your actions, Gwenton. So we move to Althor. You wake up with a start. You can, again, your instincts kick in. You know that you're under attack. What do you do?
I will spend 1 action to stand up.
Okay, you stand up.
I will spend the other action. We don't have stuff out, right? So I'll take out my shield.
Okay.
And
Shield's in your hand.
Third action will be to raise the shield.
All right, you raise your shield up, looking around. You know that danger's coming, so you set your defenses. And
little Harry's.
Harry Plopper.
So Harry's looking around and he sees that Fanram Peepa can't really see that well.
Yeah.
So he's lying down and he just goes, Patrono expectus! and lights burst forth and they start floating around as he creates dancing lights.
Okay.
So,
isn't the spell Lumos?
There's no.
Expecto Palumos, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Patrono expectus.
No, that makes an animal.
No, that's what it is.
You're talking to the Harry Potter person.
Listen, I'm telling you that from the first time. Yeah, Jim, that's what happens.
Play
Those
your
are my 2 actions. And for my 3rd action, I will repeat that I don't get one, and so I lay there.
Okay. Light appears over the campsite. If you were making flat checks before to target these creatures in the dark, you no longer have to worry about that because the area is lit up thanks to Harry Plopper. However, unfortunately, it is these creatures' turns. You note, Gwenton, that you're the only one who rushed forward. All your companions stayed behind you, which comes to you in a sudden rush of panic as these 4 shambling humanoids with this weird slit. They look like people, but their eyes are sunken, and they have this weird slit in their chin. And it becomes very apparent just what that is, as the one that has a rock lodged in its head and a dagger in its chest rushes towards you, and this slit opens almost like a weird jaw, and this tendril comes snaking out of it and tries to pierce your flesh.
Sink.
With its first attack.
I'm sinking.
Boo.
Yeah, I have sinks. Can I
sunk, Jim Jam?
Yeah, how many sinks am I applying to this before we get into the totals?
They're all going to do this to her, so I'm going to save mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to save mine too. I'm saving mine too.
4 sinks? Okay.
I'm afraid.
4 sinks. So my total on the attack is 22. Minus 4 for the sinks is 18. Does 18 beat your AC?
Yes.
Oh.
Nice. So this weird spiky tendril tongue just lances right into your shoulder. You feel it pierce your flesh and sink in. You're going to take 4 points of piercing damage.
Owie.
And then this creature grabs onto your shoulders, and you see this tendril pumping as it feeds on your blood.
No.
You note that suddenly the rock that was lodged in its head just falls out as some of the bone and flesh reforms, pushes the rock out. And you, my friend, are drained 1. Just so you're aware of what drained is going to do to you. You take a status penalty on any constitution-based checks, such as fortitude saves. So if you have to make a fortitude save, it's a -1. And you lose a number of hit points equal to your level times the drain. So you just lose 1 maximum hit point and 1 current hit point. So you actually take a point of damage. And your maximum hit points is 1 less than normal. As it just slurps your blood, healing itself, draining you. Awful, awful thing. But it had to get up to you, attack you, and then feeding on your blood was another action. So that is all 3 of its actions. The other of these creatures actually rush past you, not stopping to gang up on you.
Thank God.
One of them rushes up to one of the mules and tries to do something very similar to what it did to Gwenton, it tries to lash out with its tongue.
Sink.
Okay, we're sinking it.
I'll sink it too.
All right, so how many total sinks am I applying?
2, right? Yeah, 1 from me. So 2.
All right. So this thing lashes out at the mule. At a -2, its total is a dirty 20. -2 is 18. Unfortunately, the mules have an AC of 14. So it's still going to get its tendrils in this mule. The mule takes some damage. You're not sure how much, but you can hear it screaming in pain. Unfortunately, no, 1 move to get up to it, 1 move to attack it, and then it's going to drain blood as well. So this is the one that got hit with the dart, and it's going to drain blood, healing itself and draining the mule.
Oh.
I have an idea for you, Jim. These mules should have a reaction.
What's that?
To kick.
Kick.
Mules should have a kick.
They got a kick.
Mules should have a kick?
Saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what I will do, because I actually do have the stats for the mule. They use, according to the rule book, they use the stats of a pony. So,
I love
I'll actually go ahead. Their reaction is buck. And the buck reaction is a DC 15, blah, blah, blah. What does it do? Doesn't tell me what it does. Why? What does the buck reaction do? Why doesn't it tell me? That's dumb that it doesn't tell me. I will figure that out in a moment. But either way, it does have a reaction, and I'll let you guys know if that is going to apply. Either way, I'm going to resolve these other 2 zombie creatures as they come rushing into the camp. One of them is going to rush Althor. Althor, you've got your shield raised, luckily. So this is again. Oh, that is a natty 1 on the attack. So it's a critical failure. It comes stumbling into the camp, and it trips over Harry Plopper, who's still prone on the ground. Comes stumbling forward, almost falls into you. You sort of push it back with your shield, and it doesn't even come close to getting you. And it's actually going to lose its 3rd action as a result of its critical failure. And the 4th of these creatures is going to come in and attack Fanray.
I'm thinking
Fanray, who's still on the ground, I believe.
I am on the ground.
1 sink.
So you are flat-footed, Fanray, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it comes in at you. And instead of trying to spear you with its tongue, it just comes down and tries to bludgeon you with its fist. Its total is a 17, and you're flat-footed, but I also have a sink, so it's a 16.
And flat-footed only takes me down 2, correct?
-2 on your AC.
You're not going to do it, Jim.
Not going to do it. So it tries to rush in at you, but you are successful in dodging out of the way, blocking its incoming fist. No problem. That is all 4 of my creatures, taking us to the top of the next round with Peepa up first.
Okay. So I just saw this Fanray, and Sam has 1 in front of him, correct? Can I see Gwenton getting attacked by that 1?
You can see that now, especially because Harry Plopper has provided enough light that you can pretty clearly see the battlefield now.
Am I able to use my telekinetic maneuver to trip it?
You absolutely are able to use your telekinetic maneuver to trip.
Okay, that's 2 actions. So I'm going to cast the spell and try and trip this.
Okay, I believe you make a spell check against my DC.
Okay, here we go. 15.
15 against his athletic DC is not quite going to do it. You try to get it tripped, but you just can't quite. It's a little faster than you expected. Like you were thinking, maybe these would be slow, undead abominations, much like Harry Plopper. But these actually seem to be moving incredibly fast, and they're a little bit harder to trip than you thought they'd be.
All right, and then my last action, I'll just continue my song. Continues inspiring courage.
The song, inspiring courage to everybody around you. Fanray, what do you do?
I'm going to stand up, Jim.
Okay. Sure.
And draw my rapier and dagger.
Yep.
And there's one directly in front of me, so I'd like to pokey it with the sharp end of my rapier.
Poke, poke, poke.
All right. That's a 19 on the die for a 24.
That's a crit.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. So this creature will now be flat-footed to me until the end of my next turn because I have unbalancing blow.
Fancy.
All right. Deadly D8. Cool. All right. Oh, poop. That's a 1.
And my 1 too.
1 doubled. So 2, 5, 6 points for my crit.
6 point. Hey, you know what? It's damage. You stab this thing right in the chest, but then you leave yourself a great opening for your follow-up. Unfortunately, I believe you've used all your actions.
Yeah, that's it.
So we move on to Gwenton.
Okay, so this tongue is all up in my biz, right?
Oh yeah.
That was a weird thing to say. I would like to pull my clan dagger and try to slice this tongue off with
all right.
my dagger.
You pull the clan dagger and take a slash at it. Go ahead and roll.
And I would like to say, by the goddess of Shellin. Okay, that's gonna be. Where's my dagger? There it is. 18.
18 is a hit.
Yay.
Nice.
Plus 1, 19.
19 is also a hit.
Don't I get a -1 because of the drain? So wouldn't it still just be?
That won't affect your attack rolls. That only affect things like fortitude saves.
Okay, got it. So 19.
19 is a hit.
Yeah. Goodbye. At least for now.
Goodbye.
Oh God, where's my... There it is. 1d4. I'm doing math. I'm so sorry. That's going to be 6 points of damage.
Plus 1.
6 points of damage
7.
is pretty good. 7 points of damage is even better. And you note that its flesh seems to part particularly well under the slashing impact of your dagger, giving you an additional 2 points of damage, bringing your total to 9 points of damage. And you actually managed to slice not just through this lashing tongue, but right deep into its neck as well. Its neck flops back, its head flops back like a Pez dispenser, and this thing just starts bleeding. But you realize it's not bleeding its own blood, it's just bleeding your blood that it just drank as it falls down to the ground and is dead.
I'm upset.
That was only 2 actions. One, you drew your weapon, you attacked. You do have 1 more action left.
Can I run away?
Sure, you can run back towards the camp where everybody is, or you could run into the night where there are no creatures and no enemies.
No. I want to go back to where the rest of the group is.
Okay, you could go over by the mules where you can see there's another of these creatures feeding on one of your mules, or your companions are also facing off some of these creatures. So do you want to go back towards your companions or towards where the mules are?
Companions.
All right, so you go to help your companions, leaving the mules to die a horrible death without.
Whoa! All right.
We have our priorities, right? It is Althor's turn.
How far away is the little creature hitting on the mule?
You could get there with a single movement. You have 20 feet of movement?
Yeah, I want to stay. I'm going to cast a spell on it.
Okay, yeah, sure. It's only maybe 20 feet away, so.
Cool, and then I'm going to use electric arc. So is there another one that is also within 30 feet of me?
Within 30 feet? Is that the distance?
Yes.
Yes, then actually, the one you could, if you wanted to, actually cast electric arc on the one that is directly in front of you and arc it to the creature.
The mule one. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I will do that.
Okay.
So we'll use electric arc. And Dana, you've been doing such a good job of reminding us you're the perfect bard.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So awesome +1 from Dana. So
well, I believe that electric arc is not an attack. I believe it's a reflex save on my part.
Oh.
Well, if you succeed, you can get the +1 for damage.
Nice. Thank you. Then yes, I'm casting electric arc. My spell DC is 15.
Is what?
15.
16. Okay. Since we're adding bonuses all over the place, I'll go ahead and use one of my edges to give myself a little +1 on this reflex save as I try to dodge out of the way of this horrible electricity. +1 is exactly 16.
No. Oh.
However, on a success, you still deal half damage. So you still roll damage, and I'll just take half.
4.
Okay.
1. +1 for Diana.
Mm-hmm.
And then +2 for my modifier. So 4 total.
4 points of damage.
Nice.
And then I take half of that.
Yep.
So I take 2 points of damage. Still, hey, it's damage.
Yeah.
And do I need to roll anything to make it arc to the other one? Or
No. The other creature is just going to roll its save.
Cool.
I did have 2 edges, so I'll go ahead and throw an edge on this one as well.
No.
15 on the die, so it's going to be another success, but not a critical success. So you can go ahead and roll damage, and I'll take half of that.
You got it. Hey, I rolled a 4. So 7 is my total.
Okay.
Nice.
Half damage would be 4 points of damage because we always round up for halvesies. So, all right. It gets blasted by the arc of electricity.
And then with my last action, I would love to command my sweet falcon, Bobley.
Okay. What do you command your sweet falcon to do?
It gains, if I understand correctly, it gains 2 actions.
Yes.
So I would love it to use its special advance maneuver, the flyby attack.
Okay.
To peck at the one at the mule, and then use the rest of its movement to fly back up into the sky.
Nice. All right. So go ahead and have it roll its attack.
You got it. It is a 13 on the die, +6 is 19 +1 for our sweet bard.
Yes.
Dirty 20.
Yay!
The falcon is successful.
Nice. Its damage is a d4.
Nice.
+2. 3 +2 is
Yes.
5. +1 is 6.
All right. So this thing gets jolted with some electricity, and then the falcon swoops in and starts clawing at it before swooping back up into the sky safely. An excellent turn from Althor. Can Harry Plopper match that level of heroism?
So you said this one in front of Althor is it tripped over me to get to Althor.
Yeah.
So right next to me.
Sure,
on
yeah.
the ground.
So
Harry looks up and he just goes, Devoted to Kafra! And not gonna do it.
No.
I rolled a natural 2 on the die. So that's a total of 9, which I doubt is going to hit their AC.
That is not going to hit their AC, but luckily, it's also not a critical failure.
Thank
so
you.
What spell did you cast?
Oh, Shocking Grasp, which would have killed me. Which would have killed me.
You reach out, but you are unable to grab onto this creature. And after that, it is my turn. So the one that just got jolted right in front of Althor is going to try to lash at him again. This time, just using its fists. It's going to come in and just try to batter this shield down.
Jim, did the donkeys did we ever figure out what they do?
The buck is, if you try, their reaction is buck, which if you try to command while riding the creature, or if you try to mount it, it gets an automatic attempt to throw you off.
Okay.
It does not have a reaction to kick. So, Althor, this creature comes in, just tries to raw force batter you to the ground. That is going to be 19 to hit.
My AC is 16. So
16, so that is going to get you. As it bludgeons you for 8 points of damage.
Oh, no.
Then it saw this movement down near its feet, so it just tries to stomp on Harry Plopper with its second attack. I think even prone. I got to reroll this because it's a bad attack. It's a 3 on the die. Even prone, I'm not going to be able to get Harry Plopper. It's only a 6 total because it's its second attack for the round. So
wonderful.
It's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and use my hero point to try to get rid of the true villain of our show.
On me?
Yeah. I'm heroically trying to stomp on you.
One of them. One of them.
That is a total. That is a total of 8.
Yeah, that's not going to do it.
That's not going to get you. So it tries to just like stomp down on Harry Plopper, who rolls out of the way. And with its third action, I mean, I might as well go crit hunting. It is going to try to lash out. Its jaw splits open as it tries to feed on Althor. So here comes the third attack at the worst bonus. It's going to be a total of 10. So it is not going to be able to get you as it just furiously tries to attack. The creature that is over by the mule is going to just start beating on the mule, trying to bring it down.
Dang it. This is my fault.
1 comes in, and that is a 25 to hit, which is a critical hit.
No!
Bulls have an AC of 14, so a 25 is critical. Oh, this thing might be in big trouble. Oh, no. Oh, that's bad. 11 plus 6, 17 points of damage. Mules have 16 hit points each, and this thing is already drained. This thing, it just like tears this mule apart. It goes down screaming.
That's my hit point for later.
You've lost one of the pack. And that was this creature's first action. So its second action, it just moves on to the next target, mindlessly feeding on creatures around it. It moves to its next target and takes another attack. With a 14 on the die, plus its second attack bonus is going to be another hit on the mule. Not a critical, but the second mule also is going to take some damage as it's just getting pummeled. You realize, as you guys can hear the screaming of the panicking animals, you realize that it's not just the danger to yourselves that is going to be a problem here. You may lose your cargo. But Fanray has bigger concerns because there's a creature right in front of her that is going to go ahead and try to feed on her now that it's taken some damage. Fanray, against your AC, that is going to be 21.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so it digs this piercing tendril into your skin. The first thing that happens is you're going to take 6 points of piercing damage. For its second action, it's just going to drain some of your blood. You're drained 1, and this creature regains some of its health.
Oh, that's so gross.
That is all 3 of my remaining creatures, because the first one was actually killed thanks to Gwenton. And we move on to the next round. Peepa, what do you do?
How many mules are there? Do we know?
There were a total of 10, and now there are 9.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I'd rather... I hate to say this, but I'm going to say Fanray first. I'm going to try my telekinetic maneuver on the one that's on Fanray.
Okay, try to trip it to the ground.
Yes. I'll roll my thing. Oh, come on. That's 9 plus 6 is another 15.
15, not quite gonna do it. Let me ask you this, Fanray, does the flat-footed condition only apply to you?
Yes.
Okay, so so 15 is gonna be unsuccessful, unfortunately.
Then I'll just sing again in frustration.
Singing in frustration, y'all can hear the note of anger in the chords as you fight desperately. Fanray, it is your action next.
Cool. I have out both my dagger and my rapier, and I'm going to use my twin feint.
Okie dokie. Sounds bad.
Going in with my dagger first.
Dagger coming in first.
Probably not going to do it. That's a 13.
Well,
plus 1.
14.
14.
And
These
it's
creatures,
flat-footed.
Yeah, these creatures aren't very hard to hit and flat-footed. So yeah, that is actually going to be a success.
Oh, sweet. Okie dokie. That is 1 point of damage.
Plus 1.
2 points of damage.
Hey, 2 points of damage.
It helps.
But then my second attack with my rapier, it is still flat-footed. That is going to be a 14 as well.
That's one.
That'll be a success.
15. Yay! Okay.
Success. Now the dagger, is it versatile?
Yes.
Are you stabbing?
No.
Or cutting?
Swiping. I'm swiping.
Swiping away. Okay. So you're gonna do some slashing damage. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, and because it's flat-footed, I get sneak attack.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage plus
11.
Its weakness. 11 points of damage plus its weakness to slashing. 13 points of damage.
Yes.
A serious blow.
Yes.
Now, just out of curiosity, did you add sneak attack damage to the rapier? Because it should have been flat. It was flat-footed to you on the rapier attack.
On the first one, the dagger, I did not. Can I roll that sneak attack?
Yeah, you should roll your sneak attack for both attacks.
Okay, the sneak attack for the first attack would only be 1 point.
1 point. Okay. So still, hey, 1 point of damage is 1 point of damage, as people always reminds us. This creature is still up, but you have severely, like, you're just slicing it to shreds. And I believe that's 2 actions.
That was 2 actions.
You still
Yeah.
have a third.
I guess I could go ahead and just swipe at it again.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I might as well get rid of it.
And the dagger is agile, so if you're using the dagger to swipe with it again, you'll get a reduced penalty.
Yeah. So only -8 on this, correct?
Yes.
Okay, with the dagger. I am going to use my hero point. Because that was a 4, and I want a better chance than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit better. Well, probably not going to do it with the 10, though.
No, not quite. You're closer than you would think, but, well, did you add Peepa's +1?
Yeah.
11.
11, because this creature is flat-footed, is a hit.
Yay!
But I'm going to give you the biggest smooch on all of your leaves after this. Cool. And it's still flat-footed to me until the end of the turn.
Yeah.
So, all right. Looking a lot better. That is 7, 8.
Yes.
8, 9, 10, 11. 11 points of damage.
Jeez. Okay. So Fanray just turns on the blender, stabbing, slashing, just whirling around like a tornado of flashing steel in the firelight, and this creature just falls apart underneath the fusillade of blows. It cannot possibly withstand the full might of Fanray now that it's flat-footed. Bad news for it. There's only 2 more of these creatures left. The question is, will any more of the mules suffer a horrible, twisted fate?
No.
Gwenton, it is your turn. There's one mule. There's one of these creatures that is just trying to chow down on Althor, but then another one of these is over by the mules, just going ham on them over there. What do you do?
It's very, very difficult. Okay. Which one is further away?
You had gone towards your friends.
That's right.
So
okay.
the mules are actually further away.
Okay. I want to see if I can do 2 things at once. Kind of, sort of. I want to dagger at this one that's attacking Althor first. So I want to know if I can do the same thing I did earlier by slashing off the tongue.
Sure. You want to try to hack it to pieces. That's a noble goal.
I really do. That would be great. Oh, that's a 19 on the die. 24.
That's 1.
25.
25 is a critical hit.
Great. So since I was standing right here, I have 2 more things I can do, right?
That's correct.
Great. I want to run over to the other one that's going after the mules and do the same thing.
Sure. Why don't we resolve the damage against the one that you just hit?
Oh, I got super excited.
I crit. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll work.
6. It's going to be 6 points of damage.
+1.
7.
Nice.
7 points of damage plus 2 because it's slashing damage and it has a weakness to slashing.
Bye-bye.
So it definitely, you take a huge chunk out of this creature. Part of its arm just sloughs off and falls to the ground. And then you take off. You're like, don't worry, I'm sure Althor's got it from here. Take off towards the mules.
I would like to grab Althor's shoulder and just give him an eye to eye, just one of those got you moments, and then run over to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay.
So she cuts this creature, looks you deep in the eye, says got you, and runs away. And you're looking at this thing that is still very much alive and trying to kill you. She rushes
a little pompous, clearly.
You can make another attack. You're using a dagger, which is an agile weapon. So there should be 3 numbers listed. There should be like plus whatever for your first attack. And then there should be a slash with a lower number.
Yes.
Yeah. That lower number, that middle number is what you're going to use now because this is the second attack for the round.
I see.
So it's at a slight penalty, but there you go. You can definitely make your next attack.
Understandable. Okay. Ooh, 18 plus Peepa. 19.
19 is a regular success. So not a critical hit, but a success. You managed to slash this creature. Go ahead and roll damage.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be 4 points of damage.
+1. Peepa.
5 points of damage.
5 plus 2 for its weakness. 7 points of damage. This creature teetering on the brink of death, but still on its feet.
Dang it.
As we move on to Althor's turn.
Alrighty. These things don't have any metal on them, right? Why?
No, they are not. They're just wearing regular clothes.
You gonna try to take some?
Full force of the mountain's thunder. And I will cast Shocking Grasp on the one right in front of me.
All right.
How dare you?
Make a spell attack.
I rolled an 18 plus
+1.
5 plus 1 is 24.
That's a critical hit.
Nice. Oh, wow. Oh,
Bye-bye.
So
it should list what the critical effect is on the description of the spell. Like it should tell you what happens.
The initial damage is doubled. So 4d12.
Yeah. 4d12 points of damage.
Wow.
As a level 1?
Yeah.
You critically hit with a spell. Awesome. This is bad news.
Holy
Should kill the other one too.
25 plus 1.
What was that?
25 plus 1.
Yeah, you just incinerate this creature in front of you.
God.
You just grab onto it and unleash the full power of the mountain thunder into its chest, and its ribcage just explodes in front of you.
Wow.
And with my last action, I would like to command my sweet, wonderful falcon, Bobley, who, might I add, is a peregrine falcon, which just lives in the mountains.
Ooh.
Aww.
Obviously.
I love peregrine falcons.
So it will do a flyby attack again, coming down to do talon sweeps and then going back up in the safety of the sky.
Make that attack.
Oh, no. I rolled a 3. You know what? You know what? I'm going to hero this.
Yes.
Bobley is a hero.
All right. Here comes the reroll.
Comes the reroll. 17.
+1.
Ooh. Plus 1 is 18. Plus 6 is 24.
Yes.
Yes.
That is another critical hit.
Yes.
Oh, man. Bobley's so good.
You're just mad you couldn't get yours off.
He's got a peregrine falcon in his jacket.
11 points of damage.
+1.
Plus 1.
Plus 1.
12. Thank
12 points of damage. And this thing already almost on the brink of death. It looks like it's about to lunge in at Gwenton and try to feed on her blood to save itself. But then this peregrine falcon comes in, swoops in, scratching at its eyes, pecking at it, and it just falls over on top of Gwenton. You shove it to the side. It lands thump on the ground and doesn't move. There's a moment of silence. And then you realize that the danger is past. There are no more enemies, no more threats around you. But you have lost one of the mules. Not a disaster. It could have been worse. But it's at about this time that you realize that you haven't talked to chat in a long while.
Oh,
you turn your attention.
Sorry.
And you hang out with the people who are watching us.
Oh.
How are you guys doing? What's up?
Oh, man.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
what's up?
I'm trying to change Sirenscape, so just bear with it on the moment. It sounds like we're still in combat. It's okay.
Imp in my head said, running around like a monk all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Oh my god.
You were definitely a spider monkey.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Like a spider monkey.
Oh,
Imp in my head
delirious.
also,
Go ahead.
I was saying, Imp in my head also said, stab it with a knife and then cast Shocking Grasp if you wanted to have, I assume, if you wanted to have metal on its body.
That's a good idea.
It does require metal armor, is what it says for that.
Yeah, it's true.
For that persistent.
So
it's
throw
not just
some
any
armor
metal.
on top of it and then cast shot.
Yeah.
It's a solid strategy.
Solid strategy.
Delirious 2019 said that mule was just 2 days from retirement.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, I'm so sad.
Oh, that sucks.
So many things.
Oh
no.
A Penguin Witch Doctor says, Official Paizo, we need a mule in the next bestiary that has a reactionary kick.
Mm-hmm. Brewhide, Gwen covered in her own blood and her own vomit. I just got here, guys.
She's having a rough time. Leave her alone. She's new to this.
Danuzo is saying, why are the zombies faster than Harry?
That's a good question.
Well, we
What's up
don't
with
know
these
that they were
zombies?
actually zombies.
This is true.
Didn't do a check.
Yeah, we should probably check when we get back.
Burrow224 notes that Plopper can now eat the mule. So, indeed.
No.
Yeah, and you just see that Harry kind of like gets up and he's kind of breathing really hard, and he's been lying down this entire time, so he's like kind of looking around sheepishly at the rest of you.
Go ahead.
Just wanted to apologize for the loss of that mule. I feel entirely responsible. I should have gone and saved it, but instead I came towards you all, and this is my fault. And Gwenton wants to walk over to the dead mule and whisper a prayer over it.
Oh.
Sure.
As Harry
is eating it.
Harry's just shoveling its innards into his mouth as you're weeping over it.
So nasty.
Fanry's gonna stow her weapons, and she does walk over to Peepa and just like picks her up and swoops around and kisses her all over the head.
Indeed, she inspired quite a lot of courage in that battle. It did seem that there was a lot to be gained from the Bard's song this time.
And then I hugged Fanray, and then I whispered to her, I'm glad you're alive from that one time that happened to you.
You know, I have you to thank for that, I think. But I'm glad I'm here too.
And then I hand her one of my favorite flowers behind my ear, and I go, this is for you. I know you gave me mine back, but this one is for you.
Thank you. And she'll tuck it like in her little side pouch on her belt.
I'm honored to witness such a sweet deed.
Okay,
Sorry. You truly inspired us all, Peepa. I won't forget it shortly.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure, and I'm glad we all made it safely. What, Harry? Can't hear
my
you.
name's Harry Plopper. I just wanted to apologize for the everything that was happening, and I was, I just woke up and I was just in such a Hufflepuff. I couldn't do anything.
Well, it all worked out fine. Probably because you weren't trying to help.
And it occurs to me that your mic is actually too loud. Could you go ahead and just unplug that real quick and and maybe
How dare you?
walk out of the room.
How dare you?
Does anyone need some healing? And I also need to heal that mule.
Thank
The
you.
mule, like, even at just first glance, the mule is beyond healing. The
No,
mule
the
has.
other one.
So
there was another one. Yeah, you said it was. Didn't you say another one got bit?
Let me. Yes, there was. There is actually one that got wounded. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You are correct.
So I would look at the group first and ask if anyone needs healing first.
I'm weakened as well, but I have a little bit of healing in myself.
As do I. I can take care of myself. Thank you very much.
Fanray? If you've got anything to spare, I would take it.
Okay, I'll heal Fanray, and then I'll walk over to Mule after I'm done.
Okay.
Certain my abilities are not as great as yours.
There had been some talks of checks on the creatures themselves. Are you guys doing anything? Giving them a good once over, trying to figure out what's going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Do people hear me better now?
Fanray, 21.
21?
Yeah, because I have it's heightened. And then
I think so, Ben.
Cool.
I'm going to walk over to the mule and I'm going to sit down and use my medicine kit and see what's up.
Okay.
Jim, what kind of check would it be on these creatures?
Oh, I rolled why I die.
Uh-oh. I heard an intake of breath. So as you're looking over the bodies, I'll actually just give you some information outright. One, obviously the flesh is very pale, eyes are sunken and glazed. They do appear to be like men, though, like 4 undead human men. They are covered in fresh dirt, and they are wearing simple, like, honestly, you think they might have come from the mining town. Like, they're wearing like overalls and like work clothes. You're wondering if maybe something might have happened, because by all accounts, these may have been miners, at least before whatever happened to them happened. However, if you're looking for any more in-depth information as to what may have happened, specifically, we're looking at why did that go away? Where's the thing? I believe it is occultism.
I have that.
I have
Oh, no, sorry, religion, my bad.
Ooh.
I have a +1.
I can have +6 on that.
Sure.
19.
19, okay. You're going over this, again, clear signs of undeath. But, like, if you were to compare this to Harry, it's not a zombie precisely. They were moving too fast. The way they fed on blood. There's something else going on here. You can't quite put your finger on it. You're not sure exactly what it is that was animating these creatures, but it doesn't have the same flavor as that, like risen, zombified dead. You're wondering if perhaps it wasn't even necromancy that brought them back into whatever state they're currently in. There's something really wrong with them, and you can't you just don't recognize it.
I relay that information to the party.
It's Moldavort. It's everyone. It's Moldavort.
Well, even as Harry Plopper is saying that, you realize that, like, Moldavort, like, again, like, you just don't get the sense of that traditional necromancy magic at work here. Like, something else brought these things from the grave. It wasn't.
Something else. It's something darker.
Jim,
Plopper.
can I try? Sorry.
You can, if you've got religion.
I have occultism. Can I use my occultism or?
No, occultism wouldn't work here. Yeah.
Okay. Can I heal the mule?
Did you? I believe you rolled a check a moment ago to do just that.
I rolled a natural 20. So I just do a
natural
normal.
20. So yeah, that will be a critical success. So 4d8 points back to the mule. And I can tell you that it only took 4 points of damage. So your minimum amount of healing would automatically like patch up its wounds.
Okay.
You can roll it if you just want to feel really good about what you did.
Oh, I like that.
But you automatically bring it up to full health.
Yay!
4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 points of healing, Mr. Mule.
Yeah. Oh no, it's that is the most well bandaged mule in the history of muledom. If you were drained from the fight, that condition continues unless you've been healed. So if you received healing from Peepa, then you're fine again. But if you have not been healed through any source, then you are still drained.
May I take my elixir of life?
You may indeed.
Cool. I'm gonna drink it.
Okay. You'll get the hit points back and remove the drained condition. So
thank you.
I was going to cast an aura of heal. Taking 3 turns to do the 30-foot emanation with heal spell. What are these reactions?
Oh, I said ooh.
How much do you heal for, Sam?
Oh shit!
I'm gonna
Yes.
kill him.
Please heal.
I'm gonna kill
him.
I do it. I already said I'm doing it.
But you did just eat.
Yeah, you
Harry.
How much do you heal for,
If
Sam?
I kill you.
So yeah, there is a burst of positive energy as Althor just stands up in the middle of the camp, is like, I will heal everyone. And there's this long
13.
Harry Plopper, you do get to make a fortitude save.
Oh God!
To resist the effects of this positive energy.
Natural 20.
Wow! Thank goodness.
Critical success. You take no points of damage as you steel yourself and like force your life force to remain with your body.
Lame.
Oh, man.
Lame.
Oh man,
it's a good try.
Everyone seems
to let you
fine.
know, because of my weakness to positive healing, you would have just killed me, Sam.
Yep. Oh no. Once you were alarmed, I realized what was happening. But it seemed like everyone was fine by that heal, so my character would think that I should just do it again next time. So we'll see.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, no one has anything to say.
Nope.
It's time for bed.
Aye, a good thought, lassie.
So since myself and Quentin did the first watch, can someone else take over?
You would have proceeded on then from that point. You guys had, I believe, Fanray up next.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of you sort of settle down to bed. Fanray, you take watch. A few hours pass uneventfully. The rest of the night sort of passes uneventfully. You all awaken in the morning. Apparently, the only threat in the area were these undead miners. You awaken the next morning and break camp and can move on if you choose to the mining camp.
Before we go, do these miners have anything on them, or was it just kind of just stripped away?
It didn't look like they had any possessions. The pockets were empty. All they were wearing was their clothes. It does look like Peepa with I mean, even at a cursory glance, trained in medicine as you are, you could tell that they probably hadn't been dead for very long before they reanimated as these things.
So maybe someone close by did this, so we should be really careful.
Agreed.
It's good advice.
If they're coming from the mountains, they might be a strong target.
You and your mountains.
Aye, they're our mountains. Don't we all draw power from their glory? So what are the watches?
I'm going to sleep.
This is all the next morning as you guys are getting ready
Just
to
kidding.
move on. Yeah.
Good morning.
Are you still hungover?
Althor starts talking about the mountains, and Gwen just lies back down. She's given up.
Oh, man. Well, shall we proceed?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
sure.
Yes.
So you begin to move on. The rest of your journey is actually fairly easy and uneventful. The only real threats this close to the mining camp were those creatures that you defeated in the middle of the night. You've now done it. You've arrived at the Tupper Mining Camp. You see a number of men carrying tools, wearing lamp helmets and dirty jumpsuits, moving in and out of several large caves riddling the mountainside. Your arrival is noticed almost immediately, and some of the miners shout for someone named Furlough. Before long, a middle-aged man with deep creases in his face is standing before you, looking over the mules you've brought with a critical eye. Well, I mean, okay, but I believe there were supposed to be 10 coming in, and I'm counting 9. I know how to do that much, at least. Is there something happen?
You fell.
Yes, actually it was an accident, and I take blame for it, and I'm truly sorry, and I understand.
No, Peepa, no, this was not your fault. This was entirely on me. I had the opportunity to save that mule, and I didn't do it.
No, it's the one I slapped in the flank by accident and scared it with my bites.
It wouldn't happen to have been that was a blue kind of hairless mountain lion, was it?
Oh yes, it was that one. Yeah, he was scary. Yeah,
we lost a couple of our own to something like that not too long ago. 4 guys. The reason we needed fresh mules in the first place is because we had some kind of mountain predator coming after our herd and got a couple of them. A couple of the guys went out, tried to drive some creature off. I didn't see it myself, but they said it was this blue hairless mountain lion thing, and it tore into them. And they were fine for a little bit after that. They got some scratches and bites, but they drove this thing off. Then they got sick, and well, they passed away. Unfortunately, it's real sad news. But apparently that thing's still out there, huh? That's terrible. That's terrible. We're gonna have to. Maybe we have to pull out another contract with HEI to go hunt that thing down because, well, wait, we just can't have something like that roaming around. Cannot have it.
No.
It's about this time that Harry Plopper rejoins the rest of the group because he's shambled.
If work needs to be done in the mountains, Althor would take the cause.
Does this blue mountain lion, do we recognize that type
this time, let's see. What is the check to recognize this potential thing? This would be an occultism check. This time for sure. If you've got occultism as this is being described to you, you can try to make a check.
19.
Okay.
Oh. 11.
Okay.
I only have mountain lore.
That makes a lot of sense.
I actually have herbalism also, but
like
mountain.
Things that grow, herbs that grow on the mountain, of course.
That's right. Mountain herbs.
Mountain herbs.
I have lake lore because I've been thrown in the lake so many times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys, he's describing this creature. None of you have ever heard of anything like this before. No idea.
But would we
19?
Yeah, with the 19, I'm telling you, you don't have any idea what he's talking about. You've never heard of such a thing.
But I mean, it sounds like, at least to Jamie the player, would Fanray understand that the men we fought last night were the victims that he's talking about?
Yeah.
I think that if any reasonable person could try to connect those two events, and you were attacked by 4 undead creatures. He specifically said 4 guys got sick and died. Like, you think that very well likely could be a connection there.
Okay. I do think, since we have fulfilled our part of the contract, we should head back to HEI if everything is good with you in the contract, and definitely reach out about that blue mountain lion creature.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to pull out another contract. This here dwarf might get his wish, coming out here and taking care of business out here on the mountain. That might be something necessary. The contract, you guys fulfilled your end of the bargain. Obviously, the cost of the mules coming out of our payment, but hey, whatever. This happens. We have enough to operate on. You still brought a majority of the herd up here, so thank you for that. There was one other thing. Would you mind if we send some stuff back with you? See, we've been in the mines. We found these incredible, just let me show you. I mean, these things are amazing, and we think they might be kind of valuable, and I thought it might be good to have HEI check it out, see what exactly it is that we found here. And honestly, because we kind of found it on our own, we were thinking we could partner up with HEI and maybe keep Tupper out of it. The mining company pays us to bring in mithracite from the shafts, and this ain't mithracite, so I don't see any reason they should be involved in the deal, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, before we give you an answer, I'm sure we could take a look at it.
Oh, yeah. Come on over here. Come look at what I got. He takes you actually to one of the nearby buildings. And when you get in there, your eyes go wide because you see maybe a dozen large, glassy green crystals that are just sitting whole in this building. And he's like, look at these things. I don't know what this stuff is, but it is not mithracite. And it doesn't even, we've had guys try to just mithracite gives off magic aura. This doesn't. In fact, it's like it absorbs magic. This stuff could be hugely valuable. So look, if you guys would be willing to get this into HEI, hush, identify it, maybe we could start an operation harvesting this and really make a good deal here. What do you guys think?
One moment. I'll gather everybody away from this man so we can discuss before.
Sure.
So do we take this back to HEI?
There a knowledge check that we can roll on said stone?
Sure, if you've got mountain lore.
Look at that excited face.
Please be a nat 20. Please be a nat 20. Oh, I rolled a 6.
A 6.
Wait.
Nope.
Diana and Jess. Yeah, y'all both still have hero points.
Hold on one.
No, I don't have a hero point.
Oh, you
I
don't?
do.
Okay.
Yeah, I never used mine. Can I give it to him?
Yeah, you can.
Here, you can have it.
You have not used your hero point.
Reroll, Sam. Reroll.
You got it.
Oh, I do have a hero point. I thought I had a mercy. Okay, well, if you failed that one, I'll give you mine.
14 on the die. It's pretty decent.
Okay.
My total is 19.
19. You, my friend, are looking at a very valuable metal. It is actually not, despite its glassy crystalline appearance, it is actually a sky metal. There is no qual. And this stuff is incredibly valuable. And if you could actually harvest more of this, they could be sitting on not a gold mine, but a no-qual mine, but something very, very valuable. This could be a game changer, especially if you could somehow convince HEI that you guys helped discover it and could get a huger cut of the profits. I mean, this could change everything.
This is of the most importance. The severity of this is great. It's a sky metal.
Whoa.
Aye, hush now.
I've heard of these sky metals.
Aye, you're a dwarf. Of course you have.
But I've never seen one before.
Is it safe to transport?
We've got to be careful because a lot of people would want their grubby hands on it. I think we should do it.
would it be smarter to take a small sample instead of these larger pieces for them, just to show them they have found this, tell them what it is, and then if they want to send someone else out to take care of it, they can.
You have a point.
The brightest and the best should work on this contract.
So we'll regroup without Harry.
Well said, Lassie. Look at his stupid little face there.
All right. Althor, I think you should answer them. Harry, what?
Hello, my name's Harry Plopper, and that was very mean.
That's all you had to say. Oh, wow. If you're going to spend all your time defending your honor, then I don't know what you're doing here, because a hero doesn't need to defend it with words.
Yes.
Let's get this contract going.
So yeah, what do you guys do?
Yeah, Althor, I think you should take the lead on this one.
All right. So we go back.
Okay.
We'll do it.
Excellent. You know what? I'll actually hook you guys up with a wagon on the way back. We'll load up some of this stuff. You can take it right back to your headquarters, figure out what it is that we're dealing with, and what kind of deal we can get for bringing this stuff up. We'll mine it. You guys can sell it. I think this could be quite lucrative.
I think so too.
Okay. True to their word, they load up a wagon with a couple of these large crystals and bid you farewell, allowing you, after paying you, of course, for your services. The initial contract was for 50 gold scales, 50 gold pieces. However, since you lost one of the mules, they take 8 gold scales out from the total, leaving you with a total of 42 to split amongst each other. Still a pretty good haul for 3 days of work, plus the value of whatever it is that you're hauling. This no quality, this sky metal, these huge chunks of it, almost as big as Harry Plopper himself. I mean, these if they've found deposits that are just massive, and you get about half a dozen of them loaded up into the wagon and head back into the city, certain that you will be hailed as heroes for not only completing your contract, but for finding a valuable source of material for HEI to exploit in the future. But those tales are tales for another time, because we have come to the end of our adventure tonight. Congratulations on your success, but we have come to the end of it for the evening. Still didn't manage to get rid of Harry Plopper. He somehow still continues.
Almost.
We almost got
close.
him. We all worked together and almost got him. But
Sam almost got me.
That's true.
Sam almost got me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do it again. You said this medal was about the size as Harry Plopper, so that could just be the 5th party member for
Oh, goodness. You guys want to talk to chat for a little bit before we go?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That network was saying when we were figuring out what the rock was, they said find Bartimus or Preston. They can help you.
That's true. They would have been very good at trying to figure out what this was.
DaT Donator says LOL in all caps. I don't know what it was about, but thanks for laughing.
Hey, we're all laughing together.
LOL.
Yes.
DaT Donator did follow that up with, well done, guys. Jess and Sam, you did very well. Glad to have you as part of the Vantum fam. And yes, you guys, it was a lot of fun playing with you guys. I'm glad that you agreed to come on tonight. It was fun. I'm glad.
Thanks so much for having us.
It was such a treat.
Of course.
That was fun.
Torger in CA says, will the evil faction capture this sky medal if these heroes don't take it? Dang it, Jim, I'm so intrigued now.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
They did decide to take it, so I guess we don't have to worry about the evil faction.
Of
Penguin
course.
Witch Doctor wants to know, Azada in Pathfinder? Is that what this creature is?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can neither confirm nor deny anything.
I know. And who's to say that they're done with Azada in things in space either? I can neither confirm nor deny these things.
We have to keep our cards close to the vest.
Close to the
Speaking
vest.
of,
I get it.
Because I know Nono has a very bad disease. Jay Womack donated and said it's for Nono in tomorrow's game because I may not be able to watch live. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Sweet.
Preemptive help.
Yeah, Nono's struggling.
You know, it does. I note that Jess and Sam both have, like, Jess has a Sync and a Mercy, and then Sam's also got a Mercy. Since I'm a GM, I'm like, see, like, in terms of like the network GMs, like I'm like here on the in the rankings, and Ben's like about here. So when I say that Sam and Jess can take their bonuses from tonight into tomorrow, that's canon.
Nice.
And definitely true.
Fair, but I'm taking that Sync too, Jim Jam.
No, you can't have it, Ben. But only Sam and Jess can take their bonus.
I'm taking it.
No. Can I give my Mercy to Jamie to spread the love?
Oh,
Sure, yeah.
Do it. Go for
We
it.
can just load them up with all kinds of pre-bonuses for tomorrow's Things in Space.
I just have that one.
Thank you, Diana.
Yeah.
Sync. We've also been followed by Sorial Spiral. We've been subbed by Brian Numinator for 29 months.
Nice. Thank you,
Surge
Brian.
For 29 months.
Thank you, Trill.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Trill Surge.
Yes. Hi, Trill. That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Well, with all that, I want to thank everybody once again for joining me tonight. Not just the players, but you at home watching us. If you liked Sam and Jess and you haven't seen them before, you should know that you'll get to see them again tomorrow on Things in Space. If you're not already a Things in Space fan, you should definitely tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, because not only are Sam and Jess playing, Ben's going to run it, so he'll get to have his revenge on Sam for almost killing his character. And then Jamie's also a player in that game. So this is like a whole Things in Space team below me here, except for Diana. Diana, she stands on her own as just a network star in general.
Oh, thanks.
So that is tomorrow. And then Monday, of course, we're doing our... What was that?
You're forgetting about a big thing about tomorrow.
It's your show. You tell me what the big thing is.
Because the big thing is that killer robotic android guy showed up at the end of last episode.
Okay.
And he prefers to be called Crag. So Crag in Space is happening tomorrow.
Nice.
Crag in Space is happening tomorrow. And then on Monday, Crag is happening all over this channel. as we have the five original cast members of Dragons and Stuff are coming back to play Crag. Everybody will be playing Crag. So that'll be a good opportunity not just to reconnect with Crag, but Ashley, who's coming on with us, Adam Rady, Diana Restrepo, Ben Birch, and of course, Crag himself, Eric Raddick. So that is Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific. The following Monday, we'll be starting Crits and Giggles again. So basically, block off all your Mondays for the next 3 months, because we've got important streaming that you need to come watch. After that, Tuesday, we'll be hanging out. We've been doing, this past week, we started our DaT family time, where, I don't know, a bunch of us are going to get on and stream. And we're not going to necessarily do anything. Like, I don't even know what we're going to do. We're just going to stream and talk and chill and hang out and just have a good time. You could see any number of the DaT family cast on. I literally don't even know who's going to show up. It could be anybody, but it's a lot of fun. So make sure that you tune in. On Wednesday, we'll continue the Bad storyline with Jared at the helm of Bedlam and Discord. And then, of course, next Friday, we'll be back with our finale of Heroic Endeavors before a short hiatus. And I will say that next week, on Friday, we're actually going to feature a guest appearance from a Dragons and Things Phantom cast. And I won't reveal just which character has come back, but you will see an original Dragons and Things Phantom character next Friday. on heroic endeavors before our
Is it
Hades.
Preston? I could hand out some bully
I can't
for
tell you. I can't reveal
bully.
that right now. It's a
Why
secret.
not?
It's a secret character.
We don't know.
Oh.
All right, that's it. Bye. See y'all.
Everybody jump
Get
off the
here.
world, Kenny's Burger!